Welcome back to the Oval Office. Just kidding. We're in your local movie theater parking lot. I'm Mara.
And I'm Gio.
And we are fresh out the film.
We sure are, man.
Yeah. Just came out of the film. Theater experience, it's pretty snowy out. It's the day after the release of this movie, but we've had quite a big snowstorm, so it wasn't as busy as I expected.
No, I think from what I could tell based on buying the ticket, I guess you were the one who bought the tickets, but how full the theater was when we bought them versus how many people were in there, there was a lot of empty seats that I'm pretty sure were bought, like prime time seats, below us, and we were pretty much in the middle. And yes, so I think people weren't showing up because of the snow. And also because of that, our theater was just very flat. Maybe like the movie.
It was kind of a sad theater. Like, there were no big laughers or anything like that.
Especially after last time going with the Goonies.
Yeah, with the packed theater, everyone's laughing, everyone's loving it, but I mean, that's the Goonies, so.
That's true, yeah. We won't get an experience like that one for a while, I'm sure.
No, we won't. Yeah, pretty average theater experience, less than I thought it would be. I thought it would be a good, big audience, lots of people. We saw it in IMAX, so I thought that's what it was going to be.
At least the sound was good.
And it was not. Yeah, the sound was amazing. Huge screen, comfy chairs.
Quick question, actually, about IMAX for you. Do you like a screen that big with IMAX?
This is gonna sound so stupid, but, like, I feel like it's a little too big.
That's what I think.
Like, even when we were watching, like, the previews before, I was like, I almost can't pay attention to everything happening because the screen's so huge.
I want to see what's happening in, like, each corner, and especially since we were angled a little further on the right side of the theater, like, that, I felt like I missed so much of the movie on the left side of the screen, just more background things that I could have noted.
Yeah.
And also, when it's that big...
Shouldn't have done that. So much money for those fucking tickets.
True. Yeah, true. When it's that big, too, there's, like... I feel like you can really see where the camera's focusing better, which is nice when you're looking at what you're supposed to look at. But if you're looking at any other places, like, there's so many scenes where two people are talking, and if it's, like, a wide enough shot, if you just look down below where the focus of the camera is, it's, like, it's blurry to another extent, just because it's so blown up in your face. So I don't know, apparently not an IMAX.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I like the theater, the vibe of it, because it's so big and nice comfy chairs. Yeah. But
it doesn't feel very cozy though, I will say. I prefer
it felt like an experience,
yeah,
though,
true.
Like a real movie experience. It would have felt more so if it was a full theater. Like when we saw Deadpool and Wolverine at that exact same theater in IMAX, like it was much more of like a theater experience because there was like a full theater around us.
And it was comedy, so everybody was laughing, the whole time.
Yeah, because Ryan Reynolds is hilarious.
Yeah, he is. He sure is.
Yeah, for sure. Any more thoughts about the theater? Should we jump right in?
Let's do it.
All right. If you haven't caught on by the title yet, we watched Captain America: Brave New World. It's starring Anthony Mackie, Harrison Ford, and Danny Ramirez. Directed by Julius Onah? I don't know.
Close
and
enough.
Written by Rob Edwards. I forgot to add this. There's like a million writers on this movie.
Oh, yeah.
I did one because I didn't want to write all of those down. There were so many listed on IMDb. So just sticking with Rob Edwards for this one.
Was that because of all the rewrites that kept bringing in new people, I assume?
I think so.
Yeah.
And then there was like people like credited for the Captain America character and stuff like that in the writing. So I don't know what was up with that. It is the story of Sam Wilson, the new Captain America, who finds himself in the middle of an international incident and must discover the motive behind a nefarious global plan.
That sounds about that.
That's about what it is. The budget was estimated to be about $180 million, but I've heard some different things that it could have been like double that based on some things that happened. I haven't been able to find like
reshoots?
Yeah.
Wow.
I haven't been able to find like a real answer, but that's what like comes up on IMDb.
Dang.
But when I've been reading stuff, it seems like it might have been more than that. And on opening day, it made $40 million.
Wow. $40 million on opening day?
Yeah.
That's pretty fucking good.
That is pretty good.
Oh my lord.
I just think for a Marvel movie, no matter what it is, they're gonna be killing it, you know, opening weekend, just based on the Marvel brand,
It's absolutely
I
true.
would say. Reviews, not looking so good. It is currently rated 51% on Rotten Tomatoes, 6 out of 10 on IMDb, and 2.6 out of 5 on Letterboxd.
Yikes, man.
Yeah.
That is significantly low. I didn't even and the
Yeah.
Letterboxd reviews too, and the IMDb. I didn't look at the IMDb or Letterboxd. I only saw the Rotten Tomatoes.
I
So.
scrolled through some of the Letterboxd reviews. People hating it.
Really?
Yeah.
It's interesting how bad it's getting received. Because I mean, we'll definitely get to it later, but I don't think it was as bad as those reviews say, or at least the number up there.
I wouldn't say so. No. Yeah, that's all I got from my breakdown. Moving right on to the press that it's been. There's been a lot of like weird stuff of like people speak like I've seen a lot of like a source that needs to remain anonymous have said blah 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 blah. So it's like I don't know how real that is, but one of the biggest criticisms was Harrison Ford being really tough to work with.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, it's Harrison Ford.
Yeah, I think even whether that source is credible or not, I using my critical thinking skills and hearing about past projects with people working with him, specifically in his older age, I guess.
Yeah, bro's 82.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
He's 82. He looks great for 82.
He does. He
Looks
really
great.
does.
But yeah, I'm not surprised that people had some trouble working with him.
Right. No, that's not. And we touched on this before. Apparently, there were quite a few reshoots, and they had to reshoot and rewrite things, and it seemed like kind of a mess in the production process. Which is not great.
Yeah, I was hearing early on that whoever the first test audience was to go and see it was very not happy with what it was, and I would be so curious to see how, like, was there a lot of things that they cut out of this movie? Did they have to add like new storylines? Or I would have loved to be in one of those test groups to get to just experience where it came from to where it is now, because that might say something about how impressive it is to come out as what I thought was a good movie. It was good enough.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm sure like as we get farther away from the release date, we'll hear more about that stuff and like kind of what was going on. But since it's so soon to when it came out that we're doing this, I think it's not a lot of verifiable information on that.
I'm sure Marvel's got people working to clear as much things as they can of just negativity about this movie.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. Yeah, you had some Anthony Mackie stuff about press?
So, there was a little bit of drama with the press run here, because obviously Anthony Mackie's doing a lot of interviews. Everybody's doing a lot of interviews. And he said something that it made a lot of people angry when he initially said it, and then he followed up about what he was actually saying. So I have both of those here.
Awesome.
This is Anthony Mackie explaining what Captain America represents for him. Captain America represents a lot of different things, and I don't think the term America should be one of those representations. It's about a man who keeps his word, who has honor, dignity, and integrity. Now,
so people were mad about that?
People were mad specifically. I think the line was, I don't think the term America should be one of those representations.
Oops, sorry, I agree.
Yeah, I mean, I think I don't have the question here. I'd be curious to see what the question was asked. But I really think, to me, he's saying that it's not just about, our country. It's about, representing being a good human, to a lot more people and things outside of America. I think maybe he could have chose his words a little better. But this is what he followed up with after that. On Twitter, Anthony Mackie tweets, "Let me be clear about this. I'm a proud American, and taking on the shield of a hero like Cap is the honor of a lifetime. I have the utmost respect for those who serve and have served our country. Cap has universal characteristics that people all over the world can relate to." I think that explains exactly what he was saying.
Absolutely. Like, I think I got that from the first time he said, like, yeah, it's not just America. Like, that's not what he's just representing as America. It's being that good person, sort of, that you can be and not be American,
right.
you know?
He's not saying that he doesn't represent America. And the fact that he had to he had to clear that up is frustrating. But I do think, like, listen to this one more time. The choice of words here was a little interesting. He said, "I don't think the term America should be one of those representations." That is a little bit like, I can see why people would take that as, oh, what, you don't think Captain America should be American or something like that. But especially with him clearing it up, it's very, very obvious what he's saying there, and I feel bad that he got this much hate.
Yeah, I also think like a lot of outside of people in America, like some of those stereotypes of Americans are not totally accurate or what he wants to represent as being Captain America. So I absolutely think that makes sense that he would say that.
It's true,
And I think people are fucking stupid.
and we can't, beat around the bush on the fact of that he is a black man in this role, and it's a role that's been held by a white man for since we've seen it on screen, and so there's definitely, I think, a lot of unease across the country with that, which is a shame to say, but I think that there are a lot of groups of people out there who, and I think this goes into the reviews as well a little bit based on what I just watched, but a lot of people who don't like this Captain America specifically because of the color of his skin, and
right,
and
which is crazy.
I think that's very, very sad, but we have to touch on that, and I think that his representation of a black man with the shield is something that everybody can latch on to. It's not about skin color. It's not about anything like that. It's about, I was gonna say it's about America, but it's about being a good human. It's about keeping his word, having honor, dignity, and integrity, just like Anthony Mackie said.
And I must say, if like Chris Evans were to say that shit, I don't think anyone would be jump on and be like, "You hate America!"
True.
Like, I don't think that would have happened.
See, that's why I'm curious about the question though, because how does he get prompted into this? I probably should have done my research a little bit more in depth.
Yeah, because they could have been asking a question directly relating to asking about America and how that's represented. So yeah.
But yeah,
I think that's stupid, and we love and support Anthony Mackie here in this car.
Absolutely, we do. He is my Captain America now, man, and I'm fine with that.
Yeah.
I wanted to ask real fast up top here too. I guess it kind of has to do with the press run. I put it here.
Sure.
Marvel films, in general, all about the hype around them, how much the fandom is into it. Where was your hype level out of 10? Do you think for this film?
Like a 5.
A 5?
Yeah.
Pretty low.
I would say.
It's not terrible though. I think there's a lot of people who've been in the boat of not watching Marvel for a long time, and you've recently started watching. Well, you watched a lot of Marvel stuff in the past. You recently got big refreshers on that. At least I think so.
Yes. Yeah. Absolutely.
But the hype level is still only at a 5 for you.
I would say, yeah. After watching, Falcon and the Winter Soldier is what I just finished watching from my Marvel watch. Really brought down the hype for me, I would say, because it just fucking pissed me off. I was so annoyed because it's like, Cap gave you the shield, you're Captain America, and now we're gonna do this whole fucking song and dance around for him to decide that he actually wants to be Captain. Whatever. Fuck, pointless.
You knew he was gonna get to that point of him being like, it's like, no, bro, you're not just gonna set down the shield and let it, collect dust for years or something.
Right.
Like, I understand why they wanted that to be a big component of the show, because of how big passing the shield down is. Like, they want to be able to show Sam just feeling the pressure of it and not feeling, up to the task. But in my opinion, yeah, it pissed me off in the beginning of that series that he let the U.S. government take the shield.
Yeah,
oh
like, what the fuck? He literally gave that to you, dumbass. Like, what are you doing? What are you doing?
So true.
Very, very annoying. And I was gonna do this up top, but I'll throw it in right here. My thoughts on Endgame. I recently revealed to the world on Gio's YouTube channel that I have never seen Endgame. And I watched it. You can no longer say that anymore because I have watched it now. So I'm just gonna give a little summary of my thoughts on that. I would say I overall loved Endgame. It was wonderfully done, like really great. I didn't think like I like how they did it. I like how they did it. I think they could have gone in like a weird direction where it's like really backtracking shit, but like an actual story, like an actual plan. We have our little teams going off to like get our separate stuff was great. But I do think knowing the spoilers, really took away so much from the movie. Like when Hawkeye and Black Widow deciding who's gonna get the Soul Stone, like who's gonna sacrifice themselves. Um, I know it's Black Widow because I know she's dead and I know he's alive. So that entire scene could have been really like suspenseful and like, oh, he's going, no, he's not. And it's like, no, I know she's gonna die. So I think a lot of that was a lot of just like waiting for death. I feel like just knowing that people were dead, like I was just waiting for it. I was waiting for it to happen, and then like I kind of forgot Captain America died, which is so stupid. But I was like, holy shit, this movie's almost over. He still has to die. What the fuck? So I do think the spoilers kind of ruined it for me. Like I don't know. I was thinking a lot about it, and it's just like those are kind of just like the main most important parts in the story that like people talk about. And for those to like be taken away and there's not suspense. Is Iron Man gonna die? Is he gonna survive? I know he's gonna die. I know he's gonna go like when there was this whole the the exchange between like him and Doctor Strange where he's like, there's one possibility, whatever, and like he knows there's one. Like I know exactly what Iron Man's doing. I know he's sacrificing himself. I know that's what's happening. So like the suspense was just completely taken away from these like big scenes that could have been great if you didn't know what was gonna happen.
Question: at the very beginning, when Iron Man was in the spaceship, like from the movie before, and he was gonna die, you know, he's sending the messages to Pepper and everything. Did you think he was going to die there?
No.
Not even one part of you at all. So you knew the snap, you knew everything.
Like I knew it was gonna be late. Like I knew there was gonna be more. This shit with his daughter was like really like it's still his death was still emotional knowing it was happening specifically because of his kid. Like really sad.
Oh man.
Really, really, really sad.
Yeah, the whole funeral and everything was
tough
to sit through for sure.
Yeah, but overall I gave it 4 stars on my letterbox. Nice. I thought it was really good, but just knowing that shit takes so much away from it, and that's impossible to avoid, as we talked about on your YouTube video.
It's absolutely true.
Go watch it if you haven't.
Shameless plug.
All right, so now I got that out of the way. You want to move right into the story?
Absolutely, I do.
Wonderful.
So, something interesting, you know, me and you love talking about opening credits. There's this weird Fantastic Four thing before the movie opened that really confused the both of us.
Yeah, I thought we were getting like a little short film before the movie. Like, you know how that used?
Yeah.
Does that not happen anymore?
Like the special look you're talking about. Where
where they're like showing like a little like clip of it or something like that.
That happens for sure. They've been they probably did it for Brave New World on a few other movies. I guess there hasn't been any Marvel releases recently, but I've definitely seen that. I guess I haven't seen it in a little while. But that was interesting because it was like a countdown from 10 with like all the Fantastic Four colors, and then it was just like it had like a just like a flat like sign on the screen almost that just said Fantastic Four starts now or something like that.
It made me like realize, like I didn't even realize that the movie was. To be honest, I looked over at you when you were eating your popcorn. I was like, oh, the movie must be starting because he doesn't eat his popcorn until the movie starts.
That is true, and I hope that all of you don't either, man. Do not eat your popcorn before the movie starts.
I do always.
Don't. But. They also forego the classic Marvel fanfare, you know, where they scroll through the letters and you see all the comics and everybody's face. It was just a black and white Marvel logo.
Right.
Which is weird. Why? In this movie that I don't know, it didn't really make sense.
I'm not sure.
There's got to be some symbolism there or something like that, but anyways.
Right, did not catch on to that, whatever it might have been.
So Brave New World begins with the election of General Thaddeus Ross, Thaddeus Thunderbolt Ross, that is. He's now played by Harrison Ford, he's elected as president. And just before he goes on stage to kind of give a speech about the election, and, you know, togetherness of the country that he's trying to bring, he's trying to get in contact with his daughter, Betty, who he has not seen in a long while because of the events of the Incredible Hulk.
Yeah, because he was an asshole.
Completely. And he was an asshole in the Sokovia Accord. If she would have followed him at all through his, 50s and 60s probably, or however long that was, he was doing terrible stuff the whole way
Yeah.
through. But basically that news gets broadcast over a bunch of different news sources, and it's very, very exciting stuff. New president. And Anthony Mackie is seen at a bar reacting to the news.
Yep.
So then we skip 5 months. Boom. 5 months later, flashes on screen, and the viewers see Captain America, and this is Sam Wilson, with the help of Joaquin Torres, he was a character in the Falcon and the Winter Soldier show, and he's also Falcon in the comics, or he's a Falcon in the comics.
Yeah.
At least. So these two are on a mission, and they keep discussing this elusive package that they have to retrieve. Very important package. They discover several hostages being held by one of the movie's villains, Sidewinder, played by the late, great Giancarlo Esposito. And he was wasted in this movie. I'm not going to get into it, but oh my goodness.
You can get into that in characters.
Sam figures out where these hostages are, and he infiltrates the area and fights his way through some guards using his little buddy, his little drone, Red Wing.
Yeah, and in this time where he decides to go help the hostages and is like, no, fuck the package, I'm going and helping these hostages, fuck you, I'm not doing that, which is, I think, showing just a little bit of the, that he's Captain America, he has that humanity, man. He cares about the people, he doesn't give a fuck about some stupid government job, like, he cares about the people. I think that was, like, our first little glimpse into that within this movie.
It's absolutely true. But like you said, the package is on the move right now.
Yeah.
So he's not going to get the package. Who can step in to help out? The man, the myth, the legend, Torres, who's wearing Falcon's old gear with a new color scheme. It's green now. And so he throws on that suit, and he goes and takes out a few guys and has his big hero moment where nobody sees him, and he's very sad about that.
Yeah.
But the package secured, and the hostages are free. There was this weird when Sam was inside that compound where all the hostages were and things. He got in this big fight with just a big guy right before he got to Giancarlo Esposito. Some dude. I thought he had super soldier serum, but apparently not. I don't even know what that was exactly. But he was just a beast of a fighter, bro.
Yeah.
Just one of those, if you play video games, he's just one of those goons that's just 10 times bigger than everybody else, and you have to actually focus on it to take him down. And so while he was doing that, Giancarlo Esposito escaped. And I was like, how? I'm sorry. No, because also 2 seconds after that fight, all of the Marines or whatever, they show up. The military shows up. And so they should have had a perimeter on the place, unless there's an underground bunker and they never showed a shot of Sidewinder just, walking out or anything like that.
You're so right, I'd never noticed.
It was so weird. He was just like, hey, I got this big dude for you to fight, Sam. And then he was just gone out of thin air. Weird one there.
Really strange.
But it's a successful mission. It's very exciting. Everybody's pretty hyped about it.
Yeah.
Torres is talking to Sam about how he wants to learn how to be a Falcon, or more so. Wants to learn like Sam did. So Sam brings him to Baltimore in order to train with Isaiah Bradley. We first met Isaiah Bradley on the Falcon and the Winter Soldier show. He was an ex-super soldier who, because of his skin color, was not treated in the same way that a white super soldier was, Captain America at the time.
Right, yeah.
He's an old man now, but he was kept in jail, and they did experiments on him for a lot of his life. So he has a lot of government distrust.
Right.
And Sam and Isaiah are, before Torres gets any of his training. Also, do you want to talk about Torres being a dick?
Oh my god. It's so... he shows up, right? Immediately just starts throwing fucking jabs at him. It's like, dude, you don't know him. This is just some random fucking old guy to you. Why are you just insulting him left and I hate him so much. I can get into it later. He pisses me off pretty much every single line he said. It fucking pissed me off. It did. I didn't like him.
We don't share the same view on that character, but in this scene specifically, oh my god, I was like, bro, you gotta make friends with the guy before you start all this banter.
Yeah,
Like,
come
you can't just.
on.
He was like giving him shit about his suit and stuff, like you know, like the things he was wearing, and just like him being an old man.
I feel bad for it. Like, this is a poor old man that's been through so much shit, and you're just fucking dogging on it. Like, what the hell? What the hell?
Dude, the first thing he said when he walked in was like, "Oh, are we training for oh shoot." I don't remember, but it was something like, "Are we training to, you know, help, like loosen our knees up or something like that?" Like it was
Yeah,
some
he was
type
like
of
throwing jabs that he's like old and like creaky.
exact. Yeah,
Yeah,
it was just terrible.
which was really just. It's like, why? Why? You don't know him.
Yeah,
You just met him. Like,
it's
what the
terrible.
fuck?
Sam and Isaiah decide to duke it out before Torres gets going, just to kind of demonstrate how the training will work, essentially.
Mm-hmm.
But Sam is interrupted by a phone call from the president. That's an insane thing. It happens a lot. Just the president calling him up. The president is
Just calling him up.
the way the president works in this world, by the way, is like just full blown dictator.
Yeah.
Whatever he says, they do immediately. It doesn't have to get passed through Congress. Nothing. It's just
Right.
they're
Yeah.
going.
Yeah. He could just like do what it's like what a child thinks that the president does.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It totally is. Totally is. But in honor on this phone call, partly because of their successful mission and because of a big announcement that Ross is making, President Ross, he invites Sam and Torres to the White House for this big meeting with a bunch of government officials from different countries and things like that.
Yeah.
Sam only accepts the invitation. He says he'll come as long as Isaiah can come with him. This just happens off screen, I believe, but he basically gets Isaiah in.
Yeah.
And having been wrongfully imprisoned for so long, Isaiah was very hesitant about accepting the invitation. You know, he said something about he's walking into the belly of the beast. You know? It's not something you want to do. But Sam convinces him to go just by saying, you know, basically letting his guard down, saying, "Man, I want you there." You know, it's not about proving it to anyone. It's not about, you know, you jump some hurdles. It's just about me. I want you. And that was a nice little thing.
Yeah.
And Isaiah decided to do that for him. So they go ahead and visit the White House. There's this nice scene on the way there that felt a little awkward. I don't know. What about with having no crowd reaction to any of the jokes? I couldn't tell. But like, do you know the scene I'm talking about when they're sitting in the limo on the way and they're just like they're just bullshitting with each other? But it just sounded kind of weird. I need to like read over the dialogue to see if it was actually like well delivered. But it's supposed to be like this big buddy moment where they're all just getting all excited. Isaiah's got his brand new suit, you know, or not brand new, but his suit that he's had forever, that he hasn't dressed up in years, got it dry clean. You know, they're having a good time.
Yeah, suit. I think that he said that he got married in.
Yeah,
right?
suit that he got married in.
And also, this fucking dumbass Torres dogging on the fucking suit.
Torres was dogging on this suit. Wow, you might actually flip me on this.
It was so rude. And he was like, "Yeah, I got married in this. Shut the fuck up." And then he like said something rude after that, I'm pretty sure.
Really?
Like after he was talking about how he got married in this. Annoying.
Dude, I mean, it's supposed to be playful, but damn, you get this many. You gotta, like I said, you have to have scenes of him being nice to be able to do this.
Yeah, it's also any joke specifically thrown by like Torres, you could hear a pin drop in the fucking audience. There was no laughter whatsoever. Not even like a nice like,
It's true.
you know, not even like a little chuckle.
I did like the quippiness of Marvel movies. You know how they're just joking the entire time. I think they're getting better at this because they're doing what I've noticed watching through I was doing a big Marvel watch through leading up to this of everything, and I've noticed that they're treating the quippiness as certain characters rather than just trying to put quip in all the time. You know, where like, because there's a lot of problems in Marvel where it's just like, dude, this is supposed to be a serious moment, Thor. Why are you fucking joking right now?
Yeah, it's just like those like millennial humor jokes.
Exactly.
And it's like.
But if they just get it to just certain characters that have that, I think Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings was a very good example of that. I don't think you've seen it.
No.
But basically that character from Iron Man 3, the Mandarin, who ends up being an actor, you know that guy? He comes back in that movie, and he's pretty much the only comic relief, like, the whole way through. But it's hilarious, because you use him, and you just have certain shots of him during a war scene, you know, or something crazy, and he's really, really funny. You can go right back to the seriousness of Shang-Chi. And
right.
yeah, I think they're getting better at that. I think that's what they're trying to do with Ramirez here or with Torres here, because it wasn't quippy. Besides that, Mackie had his few tiny little jokes, but it's more just like showing off that he's not scared of things.
Yeah, I think it just specifically doesn't work with Torres because it's like he doesn't have like a real connection with any of the characters other than Sam. You know what I mean? So I feel like it only works when they're having their little banter, and it doesn't work when he's like doing it randomly. It's like, what the fuck are you on?
That's so true. That was the problem. It was with Isaiah specifically. I think if they would have done that a little bit better, you probably would have liked Torres a little bit more. But anyways, we get to the White House after that limo ride, and Ross proposes. Ross gets Sam, pulls him aside, and proposes a big plan that has nothing to do with the meeting, which I really thought was going to have something to do with the meeting because, they just pulled him up to the White House, they pull him upstairs,
right?
And then they tell him, hey, do you want to rebuild the Avengers with me? And then it's just nothing from there, pretty much.
That's it.
Yeah, that's really it. They have one more conversation about it where he's like, that offer was revoked when, we'll get to it. But it just, I thought it was going to be a bigger deal.
It was a great Harrison Ford.
Was it?
I really like that. Was good.
But Sam immediately after this Avengers proposal, because he's not an idiot like Tony Stark with the fucking Sokovia Accords, man. What a dumbass.
Yeah.
That's Ross. I can't. It's bad to shit talk Tony, but he was so stupid in that movie, man. To me, to get brought in. But Sam immediately brings up how if you're gonna start the Avengers, we've disagreed in the past of how to handle situations. You've tried to roll out things like the Sokovia Accords to fully control us and make it, a one-sided conversation when we're making decisions to do things. And basically Ross is just like, well, instead of making one-sided decisions, we'll work together.
He's like, we'll figure it out together. And it's like, yeah, sure.
Yeah, Sam that's exactly how Sam went. Yeah, fucking sure. But see, so for that reason, he does not accept or reject the proposal yet.
Yeah.
Sitting in the middle. Ross then gives his presentation with the meeting of people, with all those, I was going to say United Nations officials. It's probably kind of like the UN. I don't know. It's just like a committee of a bunch of different governments, high-ups in governments, presidents and prime ministers and things. Just gathering it up to give information. And basically, Ross is explaining what the package was and what his plan is. So Ross explains that the package contains adamantium, which is a powerful new element that was discovered on the Celestial Island that landed from Eternals. The Celestial Island is just this huge being in the middle of the ocean, and it's basically, it has tons of reserves of adamantium, which is now the strongest metal on the Earth. Adamantium, of course, is from the X-Men franchise, so getting to see that in Marvel movies, like explicitly talked about outside of Deadpool, X-Wolverine, was really freaking cool. I was very excited about that. But basically, the whole reason for this presentation is Ross is doing good shit. He's doing really good shit. He's wants to sign a treaty, essentially, between all these different countries so that they can mine the adamantium together and then spread it out across the world.
Right.
Which, like, genius, bro.
Yeah.
Like that's amazing. That's a very, very. So I was very much liking Ross at this point. He was. I mean, I don't know if I ever stopped, but he was doing good for the country. I mean, that's an impressive move, man. And normally in the past, I think there's a line about it, but American presidents and things like that, even in Marvel movies, they are for control. They're much more for control. They want things for themselves. They want to be able to, impact the way that scales tip on the world. But him instead, he wants to try to keep scales even with adamantium. That's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's several world powers there. The United States and Japan are probably the main two that we have to talk about. But he's explaining this treaty, and this would theoretically allow for a fair distribution of adamantium, like I said. And Isaiah abruptly stands up, grabs a gun, and shoots at Ross.
Yeah. It was like, what the fuck's going on?
Whoa! Everybody was like, it was crazy. There are a bunch of other attackers out of nowhere, all still like wearing suits or government get up, and they just started getting guns, shooting it, turned into a crazy fight with terrible cinematography. Everything was way too close up and way too cut way too short.
Yeah,
Did you feel that?
I could barely tell what was just like going on.
Yeah, it was weird. It was weird. Until it got much better once Isaiah started fleeing the White House. And there was a pretty cool scene of him just flipping over tables and getting past people to jumping out of the White House, on the front. But
I must say, I love a good jump out the window where the glass is going over. I love it. I'll eat it
especially
up every time.
especially because Sam is following him, and right after he gets up to the window, steps out, and goes right down the steps on the other side. Not a super soldier.
Hilarious.
But after all the chaotic fighting and chasing, Sam tracks down Isaiah outside, and he's surrounded by cop cars, and he's obviously having flashbacks to him being brought in for the first time. And when Sam goes to confront him, Isaiah says he doesn't know what happened.
Yeah, this scene makes me want to cry, honestly.
It was hard to watch.
It was so sad.
Because,
Because his acting was so amazing, because he was just, like, so confused, and just looked like a confused old man, and it was like, oh, this poor guy.
We've had so long of him talking about how hard it was in jail, too, and, like, or in prison, and how much he distrusts the government, how, it's even hard for him to go to the White House like that. And just the things in the background, too, about how he, like, gets his suit that he wore for his marriage for the first time in so long. And just like, the happiness in the car that he had, like, finally. He was
gonna make me cry.
Oh, my God. So
it's so sad.
As they're pinning him down to the floor, he's saying things like, careful with the suit, careful. Like, oh, my God.
It was so sad. It was so... Oh, my God.
It was brutal, but Isaiah, they don't believe him. Obviously, they didn't remember, and he's in prison.
Yeah, I'm, like, dumb, Like...
Whoa. I guess, yeah, sure, dumb. Mara, being the all-knowing person who's just watched the entire movie, you do know that was a bad decision, but I get why they were doing it.
No, but it's like, we know shit like this has happened before. Like, come on, government. Like, let's be real.
Yeah, it's the world of superheroes, bro. You gotta trust Isaiah Bradley.
Yeah.
The difficulty there, obviously, is what we kind of touched on walking on the way out, was the fact that Isaiah is the one in that room with the most motivation to take out a president.
Right.
Yeah. 100%. Because and he's literally talking about it. He's going to the belly of the beast as he goes in there, and he tries to kill the beast. And that's the way that the law saw it,
Yeah.
Sam is pretty pissed about all this, though. There's this pretty cool scene of him storming into the White House bunker, which I thought was hilarious because it was like one guard stopping them from getting to the president. He's like, no, stop! And doesn't do anything. He just walks right past. It's like, homie, if the president just got shot up and he's in an underground bunker, number one, you don't know what that is. Number two, you ain't getting in, man. No matter how hard you
There's
try.
not going to be one guard outside the door.
Especially when Sam brought Isaiah, dude. The government has every reason to think that he's intertwined in all this.
Right.
But he storms into that White House bunker and demands that President Ross let him fully investigate the situation and release Isaiah in the meantime. Ross does not allow this. He says that, their agreement was broken when he brought a friend that shot him up, which it's a fair statement.
I mean,
from
kind
Ross.
of fair, whatever. Yes, he brought someone that shot him up. What about, whatever.
Yeah, Ross, he doesn't allow this. He says, no, absolutely not, and instead hands the full authority of the situation over to the head of security, named Ruth. Do you remember that name?
Nope.
Did you hear that name?
Nope.
Yeah, neither did I, dude.
Maybe he said it literally when he was introducing her as the head of security.
Yeah.
That might have been the only time. I must say, I thought she was really gonna, like, piss me off, because she pissed me off in this scene.
Yeah,
specifically.
me too.
But later on, got great.
She ended up being cool. I think I'll mention it now because I don't think it's explicitly mentioned in this story. But she was, before she was head of security for the president or whatever, she grew up in the Red Room and was, so she's a widow.
Yeah.
If you don't know what the Red Room is, as in the Black Widow movie, it was like just an organization of a bunch of men controlling young girls and turning them into assassins.
Right.
And so she has a lot of experience killing people. And
yeah.
I'm sure there's a lot that comes with that. Great head of security. Um, but Sam realizes that this is a dead end, so he goes and he visits Isaiah in prison. He's confident that there's no way Isaiah would do what he did. I'm still a little on the fence because Isaiah has a reason to shoot up, shoot up the president. So I'm not going to completely go in like Mackie did, just being like, dude, I know that
I
it
would
wasn't
say
you.
for me at that point, I was like for sure it wasn't him because based on whatever her name, the head of security, what was her name?
Ruth.
What Ruth was saying was like, oh, it's a planned terrorist attack. There were this person, like multiple people. In my head, I'm like, okay, this is a guy that has been like away doing his own thing. There's no way he would have been able to like organize a terrorist attack. Like if it was just him shooting, maybe. But like the fact that it was like a full blown like terrorist attack, like no way, no way.
That's a good point. I think maybe I should have caught on to that. Because that would lead, yeah, once you saw everybody else thinking about Isaiah's connections, you realize that there was manipulation happening somewhere in there. Yeah, it's a good point. Isaiah basically describes his phone, or that's not even true. This says that Isaiah describes his phone as acting oddly right before the attack. I don't think it was Isaiah that said that. He was describing the situation as, he was there in the room, and then all of a sudden, during the presentation about adamantium, and then he was just in the parking lot.
Yeah, we do. We see security footage that both, like, I think Torres and the head of security both is looking at that sees the phones flashing. I think that's where.
Yep. That's just after this this whole prison meeting essentially.
Sorry. Yeah, so got my timeline messed up.
No, that's all right. Sam essentially promises Isaiah that he's going to get the older man out of prison. And Isaiah tells him to move on from him. If you really want to help me, then never come back here. Yeah. That's what he says. And the guy who plays Isaiah is an amazing actor.
Amazing.
He's breaking during this point, and you really feel bad that he's in prison, man. You want him
out.
out.
Again, just a really sad scene.
So sad. But yeah, Sam begins his own investigation, and he was unaware that Ross had asked Ruth to kind of keep an eye on him and track him down at the time. But Sam wonders if the mind control had anything to do with a short, unintelligible sound, or visual, I guess, that played right before the attack, comparing the situation to Bucky's Winter Soldier trigger words. We learned that was the case with flashing on phones, specifically that you could see, and a song, Mr. Blue, playing to kind of change the mind into that, I was going to say possessed state, but
yeah,
it's kind of what it is. Yeah, possession, I guess. But before he can move forward with going through this investigation, Sidewinder wrecks the car that Sam was driving. He just he shows up and almost killed Sam, and they get in a nice little fight. This Sidewinder character is just so stupid, dude. It's just the most obvious setting up for the future, and it's just like, dude, this guy doesn't need to be here. At this point, Sidewinder wrecks the car, the two fight, and this is Sam without his gear. He's improvising with a lot of the tools found around him.
And when I saw the scene, I thought, what a classic Marvel movie. Of course, they're gonna be driving in the car on the phone with someone trying to find information, and then they're fucking crashed into and like try to be killed. Like that happens all the time in Marvel movies, constantly. That
happens all the time in movies, bro. So often, like whenever it's normally when the score goes out, like there's no background music, and there's just like this kind of dead air, and you just like I get like the tingles on the back of my neck, like I know this guy's about to get hit.
Yeah.
Like I remember I knew it. Where I'm thinking about this the most is Whiplash, right? And have you seen Whiplash?
Yes.
Right when I knew he was about to get hit. I knew 100%, like just a couple seconds before.
It's because like the music just completely dies out. Yeah.
But yeah, the two fight. Sam comes out on top, and they're able to take him in fairly easily. But he does learn that this guy is doing somebody else's bidding. Essentially.
Yeah. He's talking about a buyer that's telling him to do that.
Him and Torres, excuse me, I don't know what that was. Him and Torres continue investigating and find out about a suspicious place called Camp Echo 1. Based off of like the fact that it's off the grid, Sam immediately knows this government, which doesn't make sense.
Well, no, that it was like he said a few things that it was.
Yeah, is that?
It's away from all infrastructure and blah 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 blah, and
That could also be
that's
like,
why.
I don't know, a rich person's property. That could be like a retreat of some sort, you know? Like that, it could be 1,000 different things. But I don't know.
I don't know. In my mind, I'm like,
much.
yeah, military people know about military bases everywhere. That makes sense to me. But you may be right. That may be a bit of an oversight there.
But yeah, it's a difficult spot to trace, and the duo decide to go there and see what they can find out.
Yeah.
About it.
Torres has
they
this
can't see
dumb line about fucking getting snacks for the road.
anything.
Stupid. No one in the theater laughed, even a little bit.
Nope. Like you said, dude, the Torres jokes you can hear
It's
from
kind of the lack of laughter for the jokes in the theater kind of made me laugh at like that no one was laughing.
It really just wasn't that funny, man. I'm not gonna lie. I don't think it was poorly written necessarily. I think the jokes were just. I don't even know. I guess it was poorly
It's like
written.
something
Man.
like I would have laughed at when I was like 13.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess it was kind of poorly written. I think if we would have had. It's very dependent on the audience. It really is.
Yeah.
If other people start laughing, I start laughing so much harder.
No, I agree. I agree for sure.
But meanwhile, on their way to Camp Echo 1, mind control attack at the prison left all the people that were mind controlled at the White House dead, except Isaiah.
Yeah.
The song Mr. Blue by the Fleetwoods can be heard from the walkie-talkies of those who are mind controlled.
Yes.
Ruth takes Isaiah to solitary, arguing that it's for his own safety, and Isaiah. Poor Isaiah.
Also,
man.
Ruth is the one that like completely figures this shit out. She
Pretty
like
much.
she comes in and she like, the fuck are you doing? Why are you shooting
Yeah.
people? And then takes them all down and then moves them to solitary.
It's true.
So
yeah.
that was the first time I'm like, oh, okay, yeah, I fuck with her.
Ruth's on our side.
Yeah, yeah.
But yeah, she takes Isaiah to solitary, which is a very difficult situation for Isaiah because, out of all the places, I bet you he's kept in solitary for a lot of those years.
Again, just a sad scene with amazing acting.
Isaiah's so good. I gotta find out other stuff that he's in, man. Whoever that actor is, he's just fantastic.
Yeah.
Before she continues, she learns from Ross that Camp Echo 1 was discovered, and so she has to pursue. She basically they said, I believe at that point her job was to bring in Captain America and Falcon.
Right.
That was about it.
Yeah.
But basically, Sam and Torres are still on the way there when the shooting happens, and Sam is smart enough to realize that Isaiah. He thinks it was a diversion. They're trying to get him to move away from Camp Echo 1 was his idea, so he continues going to Camp Echo 1, which is hard because he knows Isaiah is there and he is potentially putting his friend at risk, but he's got to go, figure this out from the origin rather than trying to go play cleanup at the prison. That was a I don't know if Steve Rogers would have done that.
I don't know.
What do you think? I think his care for people trumps everything else. And I think even when it's short-term people dying, versus maybe a longer plan that could happen, he would go fix the short-term and figure out something new.
Yeah.
In my opinion. So I kind of like that, man. A little difference of something. Because I agree with what Captain America did here. Sorry, with what Sam Wilson did here.
Yeah.
It's getting too confusing.
No, I do, absolutely. I did too.
But they successfully sneak into Camp Echo 1 in a very weird, race against time that took no time at all.
Yeah, they were, making it dramatic. They're like, we have 28 seconds to get past the guards. And then they, pretty easily get in.
So easily, dude.
Yeah.
But they sneak in, and they soon learn, after seeing a lab and things, this is the base operations for Samuel Stearns, who seems to be the puppet master of all these hypnosi. I don't know. But
for all these people being possessed and shit.
Yeah. Exactly. Possession's way easier, right? Possessed people. Hypnotized people.
Could say both.
while they're there too, they discovered that the Mr. Blue song, along with the flashing lights that Isaiah saw on his phone, are what triggered the mind control. This kind of just confirms what their suspicions were before. I guess the Mr. Blue song, this is the first time they explicitly heard it.
Right.
But Sam also finds a bunch of files on Ross and learns that Stern was making pills for Ross for whatever reason.
Yeah.
Interesting.
And we do, previous to this scene, we see him, like, taking one of the pills.
We do.
When he's, like, I don't know, when he seems
like
he's bad.
I'm
yeah.
pretty sure he was stressed out at that point.
Yeah.
And he took a little pill, so we can see he's taking something to keep himself level for whatever reason.
Right.
Wonder what it could be, especially since we haven't mentioned the Red Hulk yet.
Who knows?
They meet Leader, apparently is this guy's comic name, I guess. I'm calling him Stern still. They meet Stern, and they learn that after the events of Incredible Hulk, in which Stern, he was injected with some of Bruce Banner's blood, Ross kept him locked up. And instead of trying to help him, he, bring the radiation down, he upped the levels of gamma radiation. And the blood he was injected with then eventually gave him super intelligence.
Yeah.
Super intelligence. Then, back with, I was almost going to say Bucky. I don't know, Bucky's not here yet. Back with Torres and Captain America, they fight their way out of the camp.
Yeah.
With the leaders mind controlling various guards to stop them from leaving. And then eventually Ruth shows up and helps them escape, even with some other government people that want to bring them in, which I thought was interesting. Because that was before they were mind controlled. Those other like soldiers, FBI people, or whatever, that wanted to bring them in. Ruth kind of goes against the government here, pretty much.
Yeah, and she has like a lot of like trust in them because he like hears the song start playing and he's like, "Uncuff me," and he immediately gets uncuffed.
Yeah, and she does. Yeah, well, it makes sense because she was at the prison. You know, like you said, she knows she can be confident in this. Here's the other thing, though. Same shit happened with Sidewinder at the beginning. Stern just disappears from the spot. He says, as the guards are coming in to go take out Captain America and Falcon at first, he's like, this will give me enough time or something like that. But if Ruth is there and all those FBI agents are there, again, aren't they setting up a perimeter? How is this guy getting out? Tell me how this guy's getting out. You should not be able, like...
Right.
It's the same thing.
That's a really good point.
It's really weird. They just kept not answering this. Once I saw this the second time, I was like getting pissed off, bro. I was like, okay, well, where did he go now?
Yeah. Fuck.
I know. Isn't that...
I didn't notice either of those, but you're so right.
It's weird, dude, because I'm just like, there just needs to be one scene of him, like, getting in, some little, like, I don't know, he could have built a catapult or something that could send him flying into a different direction.
Yeah.
Like, underground bunker of some sort that he pulls a lever and it just starts collapsing behind him so nobody can follow. Or anything like that, And you could do it for Sidewinder, too. Just have him taking out a couple guards, a couple military people on his way out and, like, stealing one of their cars or something like that. Just a couple scenes, guys. That's all.
Yeah. Yeah, I do think that adds, and we'll get into this later, but, like, the lack of realism in it, I think, comes from a lot of, like, the fighting scenes and them escaping and stuff like that, I would say.
That's absolutely true. Lack of realism... Oh. Sorry. Lack of realism in Marvel movies is a tough thing to talk about, But
yeah, because it's like I get, like, I'm complaining about, like, the littlest things where it's like, well, no one could turn into the fucking Hulk or some shit. Like I understand.
Yeah, but we're working within the context of the movie.
Yes.
And that still doesn't make sense within context of the movie.
Yes.
So yeah.
Yeah.
But
like, obviously it isn't realistic.
Yeah.
But it should be realistic within its world.
Absolutely. The trio heads to a base, the trio being Falcon, Captain America, and Ruth, head to a base where Sidewinder is being imprisoned. So Sidewinder and Sham exchange information, so that Sidewinder's trying to get his sentence down. Doesn't want to be in prison for that long. Sam's just trying to get information from him.
Yeah.
So they I don't have it here for whatever reason, but at that point, I believe that's where he reveals that he was working with uh shoot, the leader is all I can remember now. Stern.
Stern, yeah.
He reveals that he's working with Stern. He talks about what Stern was doing. I don't think there was like a lot of solid information besides just hinting more at the stuff with General Ross.
Right. Yeah.
Or not General Ross. Sorry, President Ross. My fault.
It's president now.
But Ross is still trying to put the planned treaty about adamantium back together because things have gotten very, very confusing. In a lot of his negotiations about this treaty, people have been figuring out things that Stern was doing. Stern was, involved in a lot of, setting up the package initially, and Ross doesn't want to tell the truth to these other officials because he doesn't want to be seen as distrustworthy, that he had somebody behind the scenes, like, helping him, and it's also his big secret, obviously, if people are able to get to him. But he's trying to put the adamantium treaty back together, and that we then learn that the package from the beginning of the movie, which is, fairly clear, was Japanese adamantium stolen by the United States in order to publicly give some of it back, as in make it look like peace while truly being deceptive.
Right.
And Ross, he seems legitimately surprised by this, though, which was interesting.
I mean, no.
Because, like, we don't really know. I don't think it was made explicit if he knew what was going on behind the scenes there with Stern, that he was pulling that to kind of set up this...
But I'm not clear on if he knew that exact part, but it did seem like he did later in, like, that press conference type thing.
Yeah.
Because he had, like, such a crazy reaction to it. It's like, I feel like you knew about this. Or when he was talking to the leader of Japan, whatever he's called.
That's
Like, it felt like a gotcha moment,
It did. It was a little confusing because basically he figured out that whole setup with the Japanese adamantium was just to make him look like a good guy. I think I'm still on the side that Ross was, at this point, like, he was surprised by that. I'm a little confused on how this all played out, so let me just continue.
Yeah, there's a lot of information that's, like, thrown just, like, right in there, and then we kind of move on.
Yeah, but it's just a lot of confusing conspiracy stuff going on with it. But all you really need to know is that Stern was the main factor in causing all the turmoil,
Yeah.
He set up that meeting with the package initially.
Yeah.
Whether Ross knew about it or not, we don't know yet. But Ross is getting angrier and angrier, and he's being taunted over the phone by Stern. And he's finding himself on the brink of war with Japan. Because, like you said, those negotiations, they did not go very well.
Right.
And so Japan immediately sent boats out to go and start taking adamantium from the Celestial Island. The leader in Japan, his inability to understand that he's being played, combined with the inciting violence by 2 mind-controlled members of the U.S. military, leads to Japan officially fighting back, essentially.
Yeah.
And that makes a lot of sense. But, so, we're out on boats going to that adamantium island. And obviously, if Japan's going there, well, the U.S. is going to have to go there, too, and meet him. So, Ross is freaking out. He's being talked to over the phone. It's not a very good scenario, but he does have Sam and Torres there. They arrive and want to go fly to help out some of these jets in the air, because there are 2 jets that were taken over by Stern with the mind control. So 2 jets were firing on 2 Americans under mind control were firing on Japanese ships.
Which, obviously, bad luck for them.
Yes, bad luck for them, for sure. But Sam and Torres arrive, and they intend to de-escalate the situation.
Yeah, I mean, it's mostly just, there... It does... I was, like, a bit confused of what was going on in that scene, because I haven't seen... What was the movie that, like... That's
Eternals.
Yeah. So I was like, where did these things come from? And what the fuck is going on right now? So for me, a little bit confusing as to exactly what was happening.
But, like, as I was Don't sit down and watch the Eternals to find out, bro. It doesn't fucking matter. That thing got there. That movie sucked. But basically, I kind of messed up here. Sam and Torres arrived to de-escalate the situation on the boat so far. So Sam and Ross are having a conversation, President Ross, and Ross reveals that he kept Stearns locked up because Ross was dying. He had a heart condition and he needed treatment that only Stearns could provide. The smartest man, in the world that he met.
Right.
Without Stern able to keep making those pills for Ross that would save his life, he wouldn't be able to live. He wouldn't be able to reconcile with his daughter, and he would be in a very, very bad situation.
Right.
So that's why he started taking him. But Sam and Torres decide to jump in and try to de-escalate the situation with Japan, while Stearns is just getting in Ross's head as much as possible. He's over the phone just basically saying, like, you don't need to be in this body. Like, you can get mad, like, he's just egging him on.
Yeah.
Dude. But he intends to make Ross mad enough so he Red Hulks out.
Yeah, and you see his, eyes turn red for a second before,
right.
going back.
So, if you somehow saw none of the promotional material and didn't know Red Hulk was in this is the moment where you learn that the pills that Stern has been giving Ross, contain more and more gamma radiation over time. Because it's, building up as he's taking it. Obviously, you can see the red eyes with the anger. But that's what those pills are what gave Ross his Hulk powers. But Sam and Torres are up in the air right now, fighting those two jets. Japanese have also launched fighters to go and match them in the air. So Sam and Torres are fighting 4 different people on 2 different sides.
Yeah.
It's absolutely insane. They're making it clear that they're trying not to attack the Japanese, and they want to protect Japan from the mind-controlled fighters who continue to attack. But it doesn't exactly go as planned. They're able to get a few of the fighters out, ejected, and good to go. But then one of them, they start shooting missiles and things, and Torres is hit by a missile.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, so he falls all the way down in the water, and Sam is on his own now. Torres is fine though. Don't worry. You're so happy about it. But the situation smooths out. Japan at some point realized that those fighters were under mind control. Ross doesn't Hulk out, and the all-out war is avoided. Except Torres is incapacitated. He's not in a good state.
Yeah.
Basically, after that whole shebang, Torres is on his potential deathbed, having surgery, and all kinds of things happen. They had to restart his heart, apparently, so he died, I guess, and they brought him back, which that'll be a crazy story for Torres. I'm sure he'll make a joke about it in the next freaking movie. Dude, you're gonna hate, because he's gonna be a big character, man.
I know.
You can see Sam's already getting him involved with the Avengers stuff. Oh god. But there was some heartfelt and important conversations that are had while Torres spends his time in the hospital. Despite years of denying involvement in this movie, by the way, Sebastian Stan shows up, Bucky Barnes, and he reunites with Sam, and they have a nice little heart-to-heart watching Torres get operated on. They're basically, we just get transported right back to a scene from Falcon the Winter Soldier, and Sam's just like, yeah, I should have taken the super serum. Bucky's like, no, you shouldn't, you're a good man. And Sam's like, oh, right. Like that.
Yeah.
That's pretty much what happens there in a lot nicer way. Also, I'm a straight man, but Sebastian Stan is the most attractive man I have ever seen, dude.
That's
I don't
real.
know what in the world. Like, that dude, his beard, the long-ish hair, and the fact that he's running to be a senator or whatever now, it's insane, dude.
That's really funny.
That guy, he's got some freaking aura about him now.
Some aura, for sure.
Got
for
a
sure.
great aura. So, yeah, they have that heart-to-heart, and they also talk about rebuilding the Avengers. If it's the right move, they kind of touch on for a second, and that's where we get to see Bucky's political future happening. Future Senator James Buchanan Barnes, I think they say, right?
Yeah.
Which is cool. I really like that Bucky's doing that.
Yeah.
It makes me really happy.
I fucking love Bucky. He's one of my faves.
I wish you would have stayed and fucking helped out, bro.
I know.
Screw you being a senator, man. You got a vibranium
You just
arm.
showed up for 2 seconds, then
That was it.
fucked off. Sad.
But Yeah, well, Marvel probably. I guess I won't get into that.
They couldn't afford him.
No, I think there's other reasons why they might not want to work with him. Right now, but
Oh, really?
do you really? There was there's a
Oh, because
movie
of
called The
the
Apprentice.
Apprentice,
Yeah,
where he
that
plays
portrayed
Donald
that.
Trump.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so I
yeah. I
think
totally forgot about
he's a
that.
little bit of a problematic guy to have in now because of that. I'm sure to some groups of people. Yeah,
Oh,
and
yeah.
yeah, so
Especially lots of like Marvel
right,
groups of
big Hollywood will see
people.
it that way for sure.
Yeah, yeah.
Big
I didn't even
Hollywood.
I didn't even think about that.
Yeah, right.
Because in my mind it's like, fuck yeah, Sebastian Stan, he's so cool.
No, yeah, that's not Sebastian Stan. That's Bucky fucking Barnes, man. The man, the myth, the legend, right there. Um, so Sam then speaks with Stearns, who is turning himself in now essentially because his plan didn't work.
Yeah.
Like smartest man in the world, bro, and you're just gonna turn yourself in? Really? Yeah, they waste the smartest player character in the world so often. They should be so much smarter because we don't have the smartest person in the world writing for that character. You know, nothing.
Right.
Um,
Yeah.
yeah, Sam speaking with Stearns, and he learned that Stearns never necessarily wanted a war between the United States and Japan. Instead, he wanted to rile Ross up so much that the world sees him the way that Stern does. And I think Sam Wilson's starting to catch on that it was to become, something different than himself. And in this
Right.
case, obviously, it was a red hulking monster, but I don't really know where his head was at that point with how much information he had.
Yeah.
Still, though, Stearns is arrested and he's brought to the raft, which is a
Yes.
great. I
And
love
it
that we're
is
going
just a plan that's like totally just based on revenge, which always pisses me because it's like really unless it's Inigo Montoya. That is the only exception. He can spend his whole life on revenge. I'm good with that. But like usually when it's happening, it's like, dude, go to therapy. Like my god.
What's different about this though is it's not to kill him; it's just to ruin his
Yeah,
image.
it's to like make his daughter like so much. Rather just have your revenge be to kill him. It's like, and Betty's gonna hate you, and she's
Yeah.
never gonna talk to you again. It's like, fuck
It's
off! You're
worse,
so
dude.
awful.
I mean, it's worse. I get why he was like that though, because I mean, Ross did some real messed up things, and although now I do think Ross has changed a lot.
Right,
What he
I
did
get
in the
it.
past is, dude, because like basically he probably went. I don't know Stern's story fully, but he probably went to the government when he got that Hulk blood and was like, "Hey, help me out! Like this is a very bad situation." They're like, "Yeah, we'll help you." And then Ross is just like, "No, turn it up." Dude. It's like he's like Wesley in the Pit of Despair.
Pulling out the Princess Bride references.
Exactly, bro. He just keeps turning that shit up. And that was his whole life with the gamma radiation. And it's terrible. He's becoming deformed and things. We actually saw a picture of him earlier in the movie of him with a normal face, and he looked like the camp counselor from Holes.
No, I get it. I get it, but it's just like, really, like that's like you're gonna. I just like the revenge thing. Just like pisses me off.
Why?
Just because I think it's so. I just like almost unrealistic. I feel like it's just like I get it. I get it on a level of he did all of this bad shit to him, right? Like obviously he's gonna want some revenge, but then you're bringing in so many other fucking people, killing so many fucking people, and like possessing that like come on, like it gets to a point where it's like this isn't just revenge for it. Like this is affecting so many other fucking. See, at least Inigo Montoya only was affecting one person with his revenge, and that was the person he was killing.
I don't know, man. I don't think Fezzik wanted to be there that whole time. Inigo kept getting him in, man. It's. I guess it wasn't really Inigo being the one bringing them together, anyways. It was. Oh, I forgot his name. Inconceivable, man.
Yeah, well, Fezzik's the one that actually picked him back up, and
True.
this is unimportant.
It'll be a different
We're
podcast.
talking about Marvel. Yeah, when's the Princess Bride re-release? Let's go see
Dude,
that shit.
We gotta find out, man. That would be awesome. But yeah, Stern doesn't necessarily want war. He just wants to bring Ross down, publicly.
Yeah.
And Ross back in the Oval Office gets a call from Betty. Finally, she's like, "Oh, I should have, called you after you got shot up, but now I'm calling you for some reason."
And at that, yeah, well, he called her.
Oh, he called her,
Yeah.
right? She answered for the first
and
time.
was like,
Wow.
I should have called you. And that's when I thought, like, just hearing Liv Tyler's voice, I'm like, oh, that's gonna be it. She's not gonna
Really?
be in this. Yeah, when I heard it, I'm like, oh, they just gave her like a little voice thing. Like, she's not gonna be in this.
Dude, because I
That's
heard,
what I thought when I heard that.
I heard it and I was like, oh my god, Liv Tyler's gonna be here. I had the exact opposite. Like, you're gonna get her voice, bro. That means you got her in a studio. That means you could so easily throw up a green screen and get her right in there, you know?
Yeah, I was thinking, I was like, oh, she probably just went to the studio, recorded that little thing, and then dipped.
I wouldn't blame her. If that was an option, I probably would have taken it, dude. Imagine the paycheck just for that little phone call.
Yeah.
Especially because you're Liv Tyler.
Yeah.
But yeah, they connect over the phone and they decide that they're gonna take a walk and like they used to and catch up, which is
by the
quite nice.
cherry blossom tree, right?
Cherry blossom
Yeah.
trees, yes. Which I read a thing that cannot be present in DC or this time of year when it's set. Apparently, the cherry blossoms don't bloom at this time of year at all. But
Yeah, makes sense.
it's fine. But then Ross goes out and has a press conference with the world, basically trying to describe what just happened and put everybody at ease. But these reporters are asking amazing questions. Really good questions. They're getting down in deep with them, and he's having trouble answering some of these.
Yeah, like, these are the reporters that actual reporters should be asking the president. Like,
Yes.
come on! Why do we ask bullshit questions? Why can't we be like this Marvel movie where they ask the real hard-hitting questions?
That's honestly so true, dude. That's so true. But yeah, Stern is communicating with Ross this whole time, kind of like the phone call on the boat, and he's he actually takes over with the speakers in the garden that he's in, where he's doing this talk, and he's just riling up Ross.
Yeah.
And Ross is getting more and more angry. People are trying to hold him back until eventually he riles him up enough that he hulks out. In fact, he Red Hulks out.
He Red Hulks out.
Becomes the Red Hulk.
Turns into the Red Hulk.
And thank God they weren't too worried about budget, because they could have just done a different shot of him, you know. I'm so happy. A lot of movies that I've watched, specifically She-Hulk, they were on purpose not showing her transformation because it cost money.
Right.
And they literally made a joke about it. How it was like, what's the cheapest way to do this? Oh, we cut to the next scene? Okay, and then just cuts to the next scene. And it's like, oh my god, stop it. So to get to see him changing into the Red Hulk was really cool. I think Harrison Ford's face really worked well on the Hulk. Because you just watched The Incredible Hulk.
Mm-hmm.
Edward Norton's face doesn't look quite right. Am I wrong saying that?
No, I would agree with
like
that.
Bruce's does, but Edward's is like a little too realistic or something. What they did here, I mean, I've got a picture right here. Obviously, you can't see it over the mic.
Yeah.
But it looks really, really good, and he's got some freaking muscles, man.
Yeah.
Oh my lord.
And can I say, this pissed me the fuck off, is when he first becomes the Hulk, they're all just like fucking shooting him with handguns. And he is not affected at it by all, except it's getting him more angry. So it's like, what the fuck are you doing? Like, this is not the first Hulk that has ever been fucking encountered. Like, you should know how to fucking deal with it. Like, what is going on? Like, why are you just like shooting at him and he's having no reaction? And that one girl continued to shoot at him. And I'm like, what are you doing? That was so stupid. You know that's not gonna do anything. Come on, use your head.
Yeah, no, it's just so dumb that they don't have a better plan for when a Hulk. I know you're not expecting the president to turn into Hulk, right? But like, bro, if you know our president right now is going to speak in a garden somewhere, do you know how many like major weapons are probably sitting around for any type of threat at all? Even like alien abduction and shit. They probably have some missile just waiting to pop.
Yeah, not just a bunch of fucking, I don't even know, like handguns.
Yeah,
is that what they are?
Just like 6 people with handguns.
Like, what are you doing? That was so stupid. But whatever.
Also, backup was 5 minutes out at that point, she said. You remember
Oh,
that?
yeah.
Bro, this is the president here.
What?
The backup should be there already.
Yeah, how do you not have that? Like, because the people that were shooting, like that one woman in specific that was shooting, like, we know she's not like security or any shit like that. Like, she's just like, it's like right-hand man type shit.
Yeah.
So like, why was there no security present at all when the president is talking?
I don't know.
What's
man.
going on?
I don't know. That's insane. But luckily, since obviously all those government agents aren't going to do anything with their handguns, Sam steps in. Captain America steps in. And there's this extended sequence where Sam holds his own against Red Hulk. There's a bunch of things with Ross, we'll just call him Red Hulk, jumping on the White House and things, breaking a whole bunch of stuff.
Mhm.
They had better guns on planes coming in, taking him out, which also didn't do anything to his skin.
Yep.
You know, he was taking it. But Sam is obviously kind of drawing him over to a certain place. We don't exactly know what that place is yet.
Mhm.
But once they get there, Sam tries to calm him down a little bit, right, the first time.
Yeah.
Basically saying, hey, look around where you are right now. This is where you used to walk with your daughter. What are those trees?
Cherry blossom trees?
There's those cherry blossom trees, and he's trying to, it's like Natasha with the poem and things like that. She's trying to bring him home, get him back to normal.
Mhm.
And he doesn't really respond to that. They just keep going at it. There's this really cool thing with Sam just fully like hunkering down with the shield on top of him and both his wings around the shield, and he's literally just getting Hulk smashed into the ground.
Crazy.
It was a cool fight. I'm not gonna lie. It was a cool fight.
Yeah.
It was entertaining. I think I really liked Sam's use of the wings, and I almost didn't expect like Disney to let this happen, because the way it all culminates to Sam using as much force as possible with the vibranium to seep into the Red Hulk's flesh.
Right.
That's essentially it. And the finishing blow is a stab. It's a fucking stab, and you can see blood, but because he's red, it doesn't really matter that much. It was actually, it was you don't see, it's like, that's like them in Star Wars nowadays. Whenever, like, the rare time that you get to see a limb cut off.
Yeah.
And you're just like, oh, what the fuck?
Like,
Yeah, so it's like, what? It's actual realism.
They show like gore. Like, actually, it's not just like a bunch of people getting killed like immediately and you don't see anything.
It's so dumb, dude. And it's in the video games too. I don't know why I'm bringing up video games today, but like in Star Wars video games, the Force or Jedi Fallen Order specifically, same thing. You're cutting people down and it's just nothing. They're just like, oh, a little slash here, a little slash there, and then they die. And like, you go to games 10 years ago, you're getting limbs cut off. It makes no sense.
Yeah.
It's just Disney wanting to make things more family friendly.
Fucked up.
I've been telling Disney, bro, they gotta do more fucking serious shit like that, man.
You've been talking to the CEO.
Moana. I'm telling you, they have to kill Moana.
Oh, here we go.
I have been talking. Me and Mr. Iger are very close.
You give him your thoughts.
but yeah, that's huge fight. Stab with the vibranium, and everybody's showing up. Stab with the vibranium happens after they kind of got crushed into the road a little bit. So.
I will say, there was another line about backups 5 minutes out.
Really?
Yeah.
Another one?
Yeah, like when they're over by the cherry blossom, and he was like, wait. Hold them off.
Dude, I loved how the Red Hulk just also wrecked the Washington Monument for no reason.
Yeah, that was really funny.
I thought he was gonna miss it, but he just barely scraped.
Nah, it seemed like Sam was literally leading him to it to like wreck it like a little bit.
Sam, go around, man.
Like he's gonna follow you in a straight line. Fuck.
Have you ever seen Hulk jump like that? Because I gotta think back. That jump from off the top of the White House was insane, bro. He was flying in the air higher and faster than Falcon was.
I mean, he had some pretty crazy jumps in the Incredible Hulk.
Incredible Hulk.
Yeah.
On that level?
I don't know if necessarily on that level.
Because this guy might be stronger than Hulk, is what I'm thinking.
Right.
Especially because, like...
Because he's red.
I feel like those planes with the big bullets that were firing into him, the helicopters, rather, he was eating those effortlessly.
Yeah.
He was standing up to them. I can picture Bruce in the first movie, similar, like, gunfire to that, really getting battered down with it.
Yeah.
So I wonder, I wonder. That's going to be a cool fight one day, if Bruce can get out of the stupid fucking smart Hulk state that he's in. Oh my God, man. I got that explained in She-Hulk, by the way, slightly, even more. If you're curious about it, ask me off mic, I'll let you know.
There's
it is. It still is stupid. But yeah, essentially, there's this. The fight was going. Red Hulk has not been quite subdued. So even after the stab, so instead of fighting, Sam just walks up to him with no gear. He says something. One punch. He admits that they both know that the Red Hulk can knock him out with one hit.
Yeah.
He takes a page from his counselor's handbook from Falcon the Winter Soldier, and just talks to him. Sam reminds Ross of his daughter, and he calms down with a memory.
Which is, again, Betty just being the only fucking person that can calm down any Hulk is crazy.
See, this is where I thought Betty was going to show up. I thought Betty was going to show up here with all those people and be the one to calm him down, especially with the boss and everything around. I was like, oh, but nope.
No.
But yeah, it calms down with the memory and about seeing DC's cherry blossoms, which don't exist this time of year. And ultimately, Ross is he's taken to the raft. He first gets on stage. We don't actually see this happens in conversation, but he takes full responsibility for everything and gives up his position. This is a choice that Sam praises him for making, and this kind of is full circle for me for Ross, for him being a good person.
Absolutely.
I'm back on Ross's side.
Because it was a little bit like iffy. Like, I don't know exactly what his involvement in is or what he was doing. Is he still that? And then it's like, okay.
Yeah. That made it clear.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, Sam praises him, and I think the only scene that we have left that isn't in here was Torres at the hospital bed, right?
Oh, yeah, when did Liv Tyler actually show up?
Oh, did she show up then?
Sorry. I'm not sure if it's before or after.
She wasn't the end credits scene. No, I think I just missed it. Yeah, Betty comes. During that conversation with Sam and not Red Hot and Ross, and she visits, and they decide to sit and talk to one another. And Harrison Ford's such a good actor. You can see him just breaking. Yeah, it's really nice. Yeah,
it was so sweet and great that she got him there for a little cameo.
I'm so happy to see Liv Tyler. She looks weird. She looks different. Like, she looks great.
She's just older now.
She looks really young still too. I feel like did she get any work done or anything?
That's what I was thinking when I saw her too. Yeah,
her face looks a little bit different, a little bit more
maybe
Hollywood-esque.
A little bit of Botox, maybe too much Botox.
Probably.
Yeah. Who knows? I don't even know how old she is.
Bro, who knows what drugs they have in Hollywood, man? People are just pulling off crazy shit.
The substance, G. The substance.
Ooh. Interesting.
Ooh. Really touches on that.
Dude, we're really getting out there in the movie world today. Yeah. We're about to start I think I'm about to start. You're already kind of working through it, but doing all the Oscar movies that we haven't seen.
Yeah.
It's gonna be very exciting. I think we'll definitely do an Oscar episode.
Absolutely.
Encompassing everything and doing little reviews.
Yes, I've so far been doing like little letterbox reviews and full notes for each movie.
That's amazing.
That I do. So we'll definitely
totally
do that
too.
Yeah.
But yeah, Captain America: Brave New World is concluding. Sam talks to recovering Torres about the weight of responsibility that he feels. And Torres responds that he wants that responsibility.
Yeah.
And
one of the only redeeming scenes for Torres for me is it was kind of a nice scene.
Yeah. Did you like the dialogue exchange?
I did. Yeah. Yeah. I thought it was nice and sweet.
It was sweet. I didn't want to see Torres die, at all. Your facial expressions.
Me neither.
Sure, your facial
Shouldn't have died. Whatever.
But Sam essentially tells him that he's rebuilding the Avengers and things, like Ross suggested, and encourages him to prepare to be the Falcon when he assembles these people. Sam also saw to it that Isaiah was freed from imprisonment, just like Sam promised he would be.
Mm-hmm.
And that makes me so happy to see Isaiah Bradley walking out of there, man.
Thank God, and he gets his suit back.
He gets his suit back,
and it's all nice. It's in like a fucking like
it's freshly dry.
Yeah,
yep.
yeah.
It totally is. That's amazing. But then credits roll, and all we have left after that, since this is a Marvel movie, is the post-credit scene. So
I waited through so many credits for that.
Yep, so many credits. They didn't do it after the first round of like cool animated credits. They did it after the scrolling black text, which they haven't done, at least in the shows. That felt weird to me, but it might just be because I'm watching a lot of Marvel shows recently, that also have post-credit scenes. But yeah, I'm not 100% sure.
Yeah, I think for the films I watched, it's pretty typical for those. I think to be like after like the actual like ending credits.
Okay.
Yeah.
True. Yeah, I probably just forgot it then. But yeah, in that post-credit scene, Sam is talking to Stern. And Stern is warning Sam essentially, oh, you think the Avengers can handle shit? Just wait till there's more of your worlds out there fighting you. Just wait till there's more of you.
Yeah, he's like, there's more worlds out there that you don't even know they're going to be fighting. It's like, well,
it's just obviously hinting at the multiverse and attempting to set up even further, Avengers Doomsday and Avengers Secret Wars.
Yeah.
But that is our movie.
Yeah. That is it. I'll jump right into the characters. Obviously, we've already kind of touched on that. I would say it's a little bit difficult to talk about characters and character development when a lot of these characters have previously been developed.
Yes.
So I'm just gonna kind of take them as face value with the movie.
Yeah, what we saw in this movie.
I guess I think I really liked Sam Wilson. He's kind of coming into his own. You can tell he's still from like that first scene that I talked about with the hostages. He still cares about that people, but he has like he's a little smarter about it. Like he really thinks of like the big picture, which is different from like we mentioned probably what Steve Rogers would do. That's his name?
Yeah.
Okay.
Steve? What?
No, I wasn't sure if it was Rogers for some reason. It sounded wrong.
Steve Rogers.
I don't know. So many crazy names. That's not a crazy name.
Yeah, no, he was. I was a big fan of what specifically Anthony Mackie brought to that character in this one. I think there was a lot of confidence in wearing that suit, wielding that shield. There's some things that he did with the shield too, with Sam Wilson. I'm talking about now, but where like the certain shot where he kicked the shield up to himself, like Cap does a lot, and instead of catching it, which he also did in the movie, but instead of catching it, he kicks it again, and it like did the shield thing where it bounced off a couple walls and takes out a couple goons. That was pretty cool, and obviously all the different stuff that he's doing with the wings and flying and everything. I don't understand how that wing technology works at all. It's almost like he's telepathically using them because it literally doesn't make sense. Like how the things he does to like bend it around to save himself, and then it looks like it's an extension of his body.
Yeah.
Like he takes the suit off and it's just like skin wings on his side.
Like you could just like move his wings like how someone would like move their arm, you know?
We'll just sum that up to Wakandan tech, I guess. But yeah, I was really happy with Mackie's performance. I was really happy with the way that Sam Wilson was portrayed. I thought he was great.
Yeah, I liked the way they went with it as far as his character, for sure. As for the other characters we touched on, I mean, I think obviously I hate Torres.
Yep.
That wasn't clear from all of my thoughts during the story. I think what's the old guy's
Sidewinder?
name?
Oh, the old guy, Ross?
No, the
Isaiah.
Isaiah. I think in terms of his character, like mostly what I was thinking about, what I think of him in this movie was his acting was just phenomenal. Not necessarily how his character was moving through it is more what I kind of think of. I really liked Ruth is her name?
Yep, Ruth.
Ruth. Never fucking say it. I think she could potentially be a really great, like, badass character based on just, like, one scene where she, like, took everyone out, like, super easily, and it's like, okay, she has for sure some potential here.
Any of those Red Room raised girls, bro, I'm curious of their stories.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yelena's still in there anyways. I'd love for her to link up with Ruth at some point.
Yeah, that'd be epic.
Ruth didn't have a ton of dialogue that made her likable. It was really just one scene for me, I think, that really put me on her side of things, which was when, the FBI still wanted to take in Captain America and Falcon, and she was pushing back against that. She immediately uncuffed him and things. It was really... That was cool. That was really cool because so many government officials in that movie are just like government persons in that movie are just that, and they just speak for the government, act for the government. So seeing somebody like break out of that,
right? And
really, really nice.
I really thought that's what she was going to be based on like the first scene we saw with her. But then it was like, oh no, she's like actually smart, looking into this shit. She knows her stuff, and she's like, she knows what to do. Yeah. I thought she was really good. I don't know, just so many characters that are just like thrown to the side so easily, probably set up for like future movies and stuff like that.
Sidewinder was a big problem for me there.
Yeah.
Huge problem. I mean, you have Giancarlo Esposito, who's one of my favorite actors. Genuinely, I absolutely love Breaking Bad. That's where I like him initially. He also plays in The Mandalorian. Blanking on his name right now, but a great character, and he just has this presence on screen that's so menacing. And somehow he was not menacing at all.
Yeah.
Like, he was the least threat of a villain ever. He just, I don't know what they did to make him like that. Lack of screen time, lack of just character arc in general. But now he's just locked up in jail, and we know he's going to come out. It was a bad introduction for him.
Yeah, I would 100% agree with that.
What do you think about Stern?
Well, I kind of gave my thoughts on that, like, the whole revenge kind of side of it. Just, like, pissed me off, and it's like you're trying to like do this because he hurt you, but like in return you're just becoming a terrible fucking person who like hurts everyone. Like, okay, like you're doing shit worse, you know? Like
That's so
terrible.
true. I mean, one thing I did like about he also just felt a little shallow to me. I think I hate when a villain's master plan doesn't make any fucking sense. Like in this, it was different than other movies I've seen where his master plan didn't work and they just gave up pretty much, which
Right.
is it wouldn't happen. But oftentimes, like the master plan will end. The Batman is the best example. Have you seen that movie? Robert Pattinson is the Batman.
No.
You still haven't seen? Good movie, highly recommend.
What
But
were the I watched the Batman movie, like those,
the Batman with Robert
but
Pattinson
not
in 2020.
no, not
Yeah,
the.
you watched the Dark Knight trilogy, though, of course.
Yes,
Our boy Nolan.
yes,
Um,
love our boy.
but yeah, there's a character.
Shout out Christopher Nolan. I know you're out there listening right now. He's an avid listener of our podcast. In case anyone
100%.
was curious, he listens to every single episode.
Sir Christopher Nolan.
Sir Christopher Nolan,
There
of
we go.
course, of course. Gotta address him right, cause he listens. He's here right now, listening to us.
Thank you, Chris. We basically in that movie, there's a big master plan, and part of his master plan is putting himself in jail and just watching it play out, and then that's it. And it's so dumb because it's like, dude, if you're actually that smart, you have a master plan, you actually want to make changes in a certain spot, continue making that change. Have that plan go for a lifetime. You just shouldn't just get to a plan and then end, just like this one did, where his plan didn't work out and there's just done. Nope, not of it. Now I'm in
Yeah.
jail. It's that was a little bit frustrating.
Yeah, I don't 100% agree with that. Are there any other big characters that you think off the top of your head?
I think we should probably talk about President Ross real fast.
Oh, shit. Why'd I forget about him?
I really liked his transition.
The other
to
big
Hulk.
character.
I really liked his transition to the Hulk and the way that they played that out. I liked just the feeling that was in me right when he first popped that pill. Even though you know what's gonna happen, you're still excited to see it coming. You know, like it wasn't like
Absolutely.
I felt bad about they revealed that because you know it's gonna come, but the progression of it made sense, and I wonder if they thought about that progression when they were kind of marketing it, knowing that we were gonna know early on that he was the Red Hulk.
Right.
And also like the mental ability he had actually at times to be able to reel in the Hulk, even though that gamma radiation was getting to the point where I don't know if Bruce could have the level of control being the president with a bunch of people yelling at him to not Hulk out.
Yeah.
So I thought that was pretty cool. His love for his daughter made me tear up a couple times. I really like that. Like just seeing him on the phone after his daughter called him for that long, and it's just like.
Yeah, his acting was just Harrison Ford really took the cake with that because you could tell, you could like feel like I was going into this. I'm like, they're gonna make me feel bad for him, huh? They're gonna do this, and then like they did, but like in a good way that I actually enjoyed because I hate a fucking revenge arc. I hate it. I hate when they take a bad character and they're like, look, but they're deeply troubled and had a bad child. But they didn't do that. Like it was more of a progression of he knows he did bad shit and he was able to like move on and be better, which I think was the only way to do that.
Absolutely,
Truly.
and it wasn't like so black and white where there was like one tipping point where we immediately knew that he's a good person. It was just like everything played out, and in the end, he's good, and in the end, you thought he was bad. So it was nice.
Yeah, absolutely. So, moving on to least favorite and favorite, or best and worst character.
Ooh, yeah. I have mine.
I have mine. You can go first.
For best character, I hope I'm not stealing yours. I'm gonna go with Isaiah Bradley. That man, I felt the most for that character. You combine that with just, probably because of the amazing performance that man gave. It's a shame that I don't know his name. I really want to go look for him and more stuff.
Yeah.
But that is just such a fascinating character to me, and it's such a realistic thing that would happen in that world. Because of course there wasn't only one super soldier. Of course the government was always trying to build more of those, and of course there was heavy racism present back then, and they wouldn't want him to be the face of things. So getting to see him get out of jail and just his whole progression was freaking awesome. You want to do your favorite? You want me to hit my worst?
Isaiah's definitely up there for my favorite, but since you said it, I'm just gonna say Sam Wilson was my favorite character. I think I love the direction that he took with Captain America. Like it's still Captain America. That's still the roots of caring about people and like all of that, but it's like smarter. and like a different version. And I really like how Anthony Mackie played that, and I really like how it was done. Truly.
Nice.
Yeah.
Least favorite then?
Can you guess? I wonder what I'm gonna say. Torres! Fuck you! I hate you, You were so annoying. Just like a little fucking squawking bird all the time. Like, stop with your dumbass jokes. You're not friends with these people. Shut up. Shut the fuck up. That's how I feel.
Was there anything else about Torres besides his constant joking in situations that he shouldn't be that you didn't like?
I'm not gonna. I just something about. This is so mean, and this is no hate to the actor whatsoever. But something about his face made me just want to like bash it the fuck in.
Jesus Christ!
Like just I don't know if it was his specific, not how he looks. Very gorgeous man, right?
Danny Ramirez, I'm so sorry for this.
No. This is not a criticism on you. It's like the acting choice, like how he was looking in the back of scenes when the focus wasn't on him, or when he was talking. It was just like, God, I don't like how you're making these choices. I'm gonna punch you. But no hate at all to the actor. Gorgeous guy. Gorgeous guy. I'm sure he's lovely. Or maybe not. Who knows?
You just preferred to see him on his deathbed.
He was just like, just pissing me off. Just like, he'd like look over and I'd be like, ugh, fucking shut up.
Makes sense.
Wouldn't even be saying anything. I don't know. He just really pissed me off. So.
Yeah, wow. Okay.
So, for you, your least favorite character?
I thought there was going to be another character-driven reason. You're like, nah, his face just pisses me off.
Yeah, no, I have no real reason to, like, hate him that much, other than him just, like, throwing fucking zingers at Isaiah for no reason. When he, like, just met him. Like, stop making fun of this old man. He's been through so much.
Dude, I'm thinking through my least favorite right now. I actually have a lot of characters that I didn't like in this.
Mm-hmm.
A couple that just weren't built out well enough. I think that was my main complaint. So for an honorable mention real fast, I'm gonna go whoever that like friend of the president was. I don't know what her position was, but she was a government agent. And she was the girl that Sam was talking to initially when he said that he has an inside girl, who's listening to things that happen. She'll tell me what goes wrong. She had like a few lines of dialogue to start, and then her characters fell off. Absolutely nothing.
Yeah, I did think she was going to be more of a big character than she was.
Yeah, she just did. She wasn't.
She just wasn't.
I wonder if her stuff got cut.
Like, she only just, like, she was the one fucking shooting at the Hulk when it wasn't working.
Dude, she was standing in the room during the Avengers conversation. When Ross said he wants Sam to start doing, she was standing in the room still.
Oh, yeah, because she told him to keep an open mind before he went in.
I mean, that's...
Like, she could have had some, like, real influence,
I think her part got cut. I seriously think. Because that's way too much. She's way too involved to just be a nothing character,
Right.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Because you could have just had faceless two different people doing both of her lines of dialogue and do them in a way that's much less just, like, giving her life.
Right.
And just, like, some guy walking up when Sam gets pulled into the president's room when they first go to the White House, and then some, other girl as he's walking in the room saying, hey, keep an open mind. We know that you didn't like Sokovia Accords. Easy,
Yeah.
That poor girl, bro, if she got her time cut out.
So is that your least, or that's an honorable mention?
That's an honorable mention. For my least favorite character, I am going to go with Sidewinder. It's not even close, man. And I know I'm biased because I love John Carlos Esposito and they wasted him, but it's also the fact that weird continuity with the fact that he shouldn't have been able to get out of that building that he was in.
Right.
The fact that he was just... I was not scared of him whatsoever when he was fighting Captain America. Like, there's just nothing. And I don't know what they did with the character exactly to be able to get to that point. It might have just been the fact that he didn't have enough, like... Because the one thing that John Carlos Esposito can do, dude, is he can look just past the camera and deliver a really cool line of dialogue.
Mm-hmm.
Like a really hard stare with... And he had, like, one of them, but it wasn't that well written. So maybe a few more lines like that to really build up, that this guy is a big threat.
Right.
And it's also the fact that he's also just... He's being puppeteered. He's controlled by the higher up. So that was mine.
Yeah. Totally fair. Now, on to scenes. Least favorite scene?
Yeah.
Do you have any in mind, or do you want, I can start?
Go ahead.
I would say that my favorite scene, and there's I think, like, one of, like, the best, like, well-acted, like, emotional scene that I felt was, Isaiah getting arrested, and, like, all of that, but that was so sad that that cannot be my favorite scene
I
at
mean,
all.
that's fair, dude. You feel a lot of emotion there.
Yeah, I thought it was just so. Jesus Christ, that car scared the fuck out of me.
Movie theme
Sorry.
parking lot.
That was really scary. What the fuck was I saying? Yeah, so I would say overall that really my favorite scene was just like the. I'm between a few.
Gotta pick
Um,
one. You already did your honorable mention.
I would just say the climax that when he's fighting the Red Hulk. I thought that was just done pretty well. There were a few things where it's like, okay, come, that was really fucking like unrealistic. But like, I get it. It's all unrealistic. It's a fucking Marvel movie. But it's like overall, I think that scene was just like really well done, especially the conclusion of that scene ending and him like turning back into an actual person and not being the Red Hulk. Like that entire kind of the end of that scene, not when he's actually starting the fight, but like the end of Sam and him kind of going at it, and then him kind of calming him down. I would say, because again,
Absolutely.
that just like have a lot of emotion, especially with like the stuff he was saying about like his daughter and things like that. So I'd say that would be my favorite.
Yeah, that's definitely a good one, for sure. Um, I'm still struggling with my favorite scene in this one. I think I kind of liked a lot of scenes just on the same level. Neither like I didn't like really love them or really hate them. So I think what I'm gonna have to go with is bias because of the character that I like a lot, but the conversation between Bucky Barnes and Captain America. Now, I will say watching the Falcon and Winter Soldier show, it makes that scene significantly worse because they literally are just going back to a conversation that they had in the past. Like that, yeah, that's it. It's that conversation summed up the Falcon and the Winter Soldier show, right there.
Yeah.
Talking about the Avenger, getting a group of people back and the Super Soldier Serum and everything like that. But to have a character like Bucky who hadn't been, he said he was not coming to this movie and stuff for so long, to see him show up looking as freaking dapper as he was, and just the for all the people who didn't watch the Falcon and the Winter Soldier show, which was a lot of people, that's a really important scene to have, and it's, especially getting to see Sam's love for Torres. It was very, very
Yeah.
nice. Yeah, that was
Yeah.
mine.
Yeah. I like that too when Torres was in the hospital.
Yeah.
I'm kidding. I'm
Jesus
kidding. I'm
Christ.
kidding.
Oh my god, man.
All right. Least favorite. I should figure out another worst scene, I would say. Not least favorite. It's kind of stupid.
Worst scene.
There was I would there was I'm trying to think of exactly what it was, but there was one scene where Captain America's like flying around, and there were just like the dialogue that he was saying, like, and I don't know if this makes sense, like, sounded like it was like coming out of like a video game. Like, when you're playing a video game and some like random character like says something,
Yeah.
that's how it sounded. Like, it didn't, like, the audio just didn't seem like blended or something like that. Like, there were a few lines in one of the scenes where he's flying around and fighting that it was just like harsh, like lines of dialogue that like were like, okay,
Was it the
he
boat scene
clearly
taking
didn't see
down
that. It could have been, yeah.
I think I didn't actually notice that, but I assume what they were doing with the audio there was when he had his helmet on, it was microphone, it's supposed to be over an intercom between the two people. So I'm
Yeah.
guessing they just went to full audio, on all sides, back, front, left, and right for that, and that's probably why it sounded so weird, because you have
It
all
just
this
sounds to me. Yeah, sorry, finish.
yeah, you have all this sound that's just like shifting, the wind blowing past you this way, and then a ship passes you that way, and it's just, you can
Right.
understand what's happening. But then the dialogue happens, just like, oh god, he's right on top of me.
Yeah, it just sounded like so unrealistic. Like he wasn't actually saying that at that moment. It was just weird.
Yeah.
For me.
That's fair. I think, dude, you could pick that out in a lot of superhero movies, I guarantee. Just like the
Absolutely.
worst. Like, how are you saying that? Bro, you're flipping upside down. No way you're making a joke right now.
Yeah, no, that happens in many, many
Yeah.
Marvel movies that I was watching, but it's one specific where it was really heavy on, and I think it was when they were, with the, not fighting the Japan, but getting the possessed people to stop fighting
Yes.
the Japanese.
Absolutely.
So, yeah. What about you?
For me, my least favorite scene is going to be, there was another nothing character that we didn't discuss. He was just some military man with big muscles. and he was at the base that Giancarlo Esposito was held at, or that Sidewinder was held at.
Oh, the guy that was getting the pills tested?
Yes, the guy that was getting the pills tested. He had. Did we even mention that?
Nope.
It didn't matter that much.
He didn't even. That was so pointless because it's like he didn't even find out from him. Like, Stern told him.
Exactly.
So.
He would have found out, though. They just had a breakthrough to figure out what it was, and right as he's about to call up Falcon, this is the scene, Stern shows up, and Stern's just, like, shoving some, like, frequencies in his ears, and I'm like, oh, okay, like, this makes sense that this is something the villain can do. You know, this character, I'm pretty sure he's about to die. He's the minor character, and his head's like, you know, he's getting very frustrated, and then Stern goes, these frequencies can affect your heart, or something like that, and I was just like, what? Homie, what?
What are you on?
He just pulled out a random. He did that a couple times in the movie. He just pulled out a random piece of technology that had not existed at any point, and it was just like, oh, now that you're gonna just like explode this guy's heart from the inside, Jesus Christ, dude. Well, why not, like, I don't know, try that with different people? Maybe use that could be the second part to your master plan right there when everything goes wrong, and just use that technology.
Yeah, I honestly forgot about that.
Yeah, I think that mainly that forgetful death of a character who didn't really exist, and some just weird technology pulled out of nowhere that made that scene worse for me.
Yeah, I'd agree with that too. So, do you want to jump into technical and cinematography real quick?
Absolutely, yeah. I don't have a ton of stuff here, honestly. I was very scared looking at stuff to get things spoiled, like very scared.
Right.
But the first one I have here is just a little tidbit about the how long ago this movie was announced. Did you know that they announced this movie the same day that the Falcon and the Winter Soldier finale premiered?
Oh, I had no idea.
That was all the way back in 2021.
Yeah.
4 years of development hell, as they call it, for this movie to get here. I also have Harrison Ford obviously replaced the late William Hurt as Thaddeus Ross. This was Ford's first appearance in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, and it also marks the only 6 times out of 35 movies and however many TV shows, that the role was recast in the MCU. That's crazy, right?
Yeah, that is.
Do you know any of them off the top of your head?
People were recasted in it? Well, obviously, again, from the whole Edward Norton to Mark Ruffalo.
Yep, Edward Norton to Mark Ruffalo. That's definitely the biggest one.
That's the only one I could think of.
There is another big one. It was just so long ago on your watch, you probably forgot about it. Because you probably haven't seen Iron Man in a long time, but Terrence Howard was the guy who played Rhodey in the first Iron Man movie.
Oh.
And they switched it to what's his name, Don Cheadle, who is, in my opinion, not as good of a Rhodey. But Terrence Howard is a very eccentric man with a lot of crazy ideas, and I think he did some very bad stuff. I don't know, I don't want to speak on it, but he's not the type of guy that you could just like tie down to a 9-movie deal and be sure that he's gonna be in it and things.
Right.
But there was also a couple more. The Red Skull was replaced along. Also, Cassie Lang in the Ant-Man movies got replaced, which thank God, I hated the first Cassie. But yeah, that was about it.
That's like Ant-Man's wife?
Huh?
Is that Ant-Man's wife?
Yeah. No, it's daughter. Yikes.
Oh.
Daughter.
Oh, right.
She's gonna be a big character. I think she's in the Thunderbolts. Pretty sure.
Oh. I watched the Ant-Man movie. It was so long ago, though.
I hated Quantumania. Quantumania was terrible.
Wait, I think that's the one I haven't seen.
Michelle Pfeiffer is such a little... she's so attractive, but I hate her in that. Bro, she just holds on to information for no reason, right? Mm-hmm. Information that she would have just told them when they first showed up would have helped the plot so much, would have helped them get to their goal. And she just, literally just for a big story moment, she just decides, well, I didn't tell you this. So stupid. So stupid. This is the first casting replacement due to a real-life death, though. Rest in peace to William Hurt, who passed away on March 13th, 2022.
Rest in peace.
I really liked him as General Ross, I will say. He was great.
Great.
And he really would have been interesting in this role. I wanted to mention, actually, I thought about this in the theater. The moments where Harrison Ford is becoming a good guy, and you can see, that he's actually making progress on his mental and trying to be a better person, would have been so much more powerful if it was William Hurt. Because you got to see the actual, how bad he was. You can picture his face when he's angry.
Absolutely.
So to get to see him becoming sad, and just like, I would have loved to see that side of out of control of William Hurt too, because the entire time you see him, he's in control, except a little bit in the Incredible Hulk. He's in control. He's doing his thing. He's in his suit. He's got it. but to see him like breaking down like Harrison Ford is as he's about to turn to the Red Hulk and things, that would have been really, really powerful.
Yeah,
Maybe more
absolutely.
powerful than Harrison Ford.
Yeah, it definitely would have been, but death. So.
There were, okay. Do you think over or under 250 singular VFX shots in the last fight between Sam and Red Hill? Over or under 250?
Over.
Over. There were 300 visual effect shots.
Oh my god.
Well, that's because every single shot with Harrison Ford is visual effect.
Right.
So it makes sense.
That does, but that's crazy to think about.
Yeah, a lot. 300. This I found something that was actually pretty interesting about the title. So, the title was originally, and I'm just gonna say this title flat. Give me your opinions on it. It was originally Captain America: New World Order.
Oh, yeah.
Anything bad there?
It just reminds me kind of.
Hold on. Stop, because I actually trapped you into looking like an anti-Semite. So
What?
Well, the way I played this out was not smart of me, because basically, it never got proved. The Marvel Studios never made a statement, but a lot of people speculators changed due to the phrase "New World Order" being linked to anti-Semitism.
Right.
And Nazi Germany and things like that. And it's so I didn't mean to trap you into that looking like, oh, I don't know, there's nothing wrong, because most people did think there's nothing wrong, but a bunch of internet people are theorizing that it was New World Order had some type of I don't know, past history behind it that was negative.
Right, that makes sense. Thank God it's not that. Yeah, damn, trap me into that. Fuck.
Dude, I know, that was fucked up.
Stop asking me these as questions.
Oh my god, that was
damn.
terrible. That was so bad. The director Julian Una, or however you say it, I feel like I just said the same thing twice, but he hasn't had a big budget movie like this before. His biggest budget movie was Cloverfield Lane, which I don't know what the budget was, but
great movie.
Because of this, do you think I don't know if I wrote out this question quite right, so just help me out here, but director Julius Ona has not had big budget movies like this before. Because of this, do you think that he bent the knee to the Marvel producers' wishes more, or do you think he kept his own agency in this movie? Because I've noticed a trend over time where Marvel seems to get a lot of directors with not a lot of experience. A lot. For TV shows specifically, for for score and things like that, they like to get people with little experience. And I think it's because those people, they can be a lot easier to control, and the producers of Marvel, they can get you to do exactly what you want to do. So my question here was, do you think that he bent the knee to the Marvel producers, or do you think he had his own agency when making this film?
Probably bent to the Marvel producers, I would say.
I think so too. Especially that's why I would be really curious to see the first version, with his full direction, or even a director's cut or something like this.
Yeah.
But how much change happened, I can't imagine that he got to keep the real things that he wanted, and it's sad, because I'm telling you, I feel like that's why they get a lot of those lower, less known directors.
Yeah, I mean, I think it would have been better if they went in a different direction, I think it would have been much better.
Yeah.
Than just, following the typical Marvel
formula?
Yeah.
Yeah. Agreed. The composer did the music for Miss Marvel and the Marvels. I really like the score in Miss Marvel, and I thought this one was also very, very good.
Oh yeah, I thought the score was great.
It's a superhero movie, so the score doesn't have to be anything amazing. I'm not humming it on the way out or anything, but it
was fun.
Held the moments. There were I liked it.
Absolutely.
I was also gonna say that it's so many rewrites happening in this, that means it's going to affect a lot of dialogue. There's gonna have to a lot of things dubbed in. A lot of confusion. Do you think this was a good script or a bad script?
I would say it's an okay script.
It's right in the middle.
Yeah.
There were certain lines that weren't good, but especially for me, I'm actually gonna say it's a good script, because for me, watching so many of these Marvel projects with terrible scripts and just the cringiest lines ever, I didn't cringe at lines in this movie.
Yeah.
So that I guess the bar set.
Really I don't know if I could say that it is a good script based on, because I. In my mind, of a good script, I'm not basing it on, other Marvel things. I wouldn't say most Marvel things have a good script, but I think overall, it was okay. I wouldn't call it a bad script at all. Some bad lines, for sure, but not a bad script. I would say. Is that it for that side?
Yeah, that'll be it for my technical.
So, themes and messages. What do you think the theme and or message of this movie was? I feel like I don't know.
No? You feel like you don't know? I think the biggest one was like kind of going back to the Sokovia Accords is making your own decisions even when certain people are telling you what is right, figuring out what's right and wrong to you specifically.
Yeah, I just think it's like all of the basic ones that all Marvel movies have kind of
Oh
like
yeah.
the same theme of like be a good person, help out, hero, yay vibes.
Yeah, I mean like
Obviously that's not a theme how I said it, but you get what I'm saying,
yeah,
right?
there's oh, it's about being a good person, a good hero, 100%. We
Yeah.
saw that with Sam, and the route for exploring it was it was a good one. It was a good route for exploring that theme. I'd take like there's a lot of different ways, a lot of different vehicles you could get to Sam, like not finding his shoes, and not being confident
Mhm.
in his spot. And I think using the super soldier serum as that, especially with like people like Isaiah around, is a really really good way to tell that story. Obviously, that's another one is, um, you know, like black empowerment. Is that a word I can use? Is that how would you say that?
Yeah, sure that works. Like the um representation and
Well, that's not a theme. I'm trying to find like whatever the word for the theme is because it's like with I'm talking like basically Isaiah's whole character. There's still a heavy theme in
right,
that
just
is
like
racism and
in this movie they like gave power to um the black voices within the Marvel universe, I would say.
right.
That's kind of a theme,
I
right?
mean, that's like a theme of the MCU scoped out. In the movie, they don't know that the MCU is like having better representation, but
Right.
like yeah, you get what I'm trying to say, I think.
Absolutely. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Moving on to the role of women, favorite category. I would say overall, I was so happy that there were no like just over sexualized female characters, which there always are. Like, love Black Widow, sexualized the fuck out of her from the beginning.
Dude, yeah, I don't care how like if it's in the comics or not, but her scissor leg takedown where she just sticks her business right up in that some dude's face and then takes him down. That is the most sexual freaking fight move I've ever seen in my entire life.
Yeah, I
That's
would
like
say,
Captain America going up and just like thrusting as hard as he can into another guy. Like
yeah.
that. It's terrible.
So I'm glad to not see any of that. That was probably my biggest thing after watching all of those, where I'm just like, Jesus, they do not. These women are just like super over sexualized, and I don't like it. Um, but I think that kind of garners to the audience at the time, so I'm glad we are away from that.
I don't think we're away from that
Well,
necessarily.
within the Marvel movie, yeah, we're not away from that, but within this movie, it wasn't there.
Yeah, totally.
Which is great
True.
and wonderful. Um,
Like you could have had even the Red Room girl, Ruth. You could
mhm,
have had her throw on some skin tight suit, to go help out and stuff like that.
right.
But they didn't.
But she doesn't need that. We don't
No,
need
you
that.
don't.
And it was great that we didn't have to have that.
Agree.
Because it's uncomfortable, I think, for most women to watch, I would say. Which is my problem with a lot of the Marvel movies in general.
That's the problem with Hollywood in general.
Yeah, for sure. But when we're discussing Marvel, it's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Moving on to personal casting. Who'd you cast me as?
Oh, so I was just grabbing my mic. Hopefully that didn't pick up. I would.
Not many women.
I think you're gonna be Liv Tyler, bro. For me, I think
Whoa.
you're gonna be Liv Tyler. I think you're somebody who's very good at pushing somebody away when they disrespect you and things like that. And you're also somebody that comes back home. And I think that actually putting you in that role too, you could have you would have done a nice job with one scene. I'm joking.
Thank you. Thank you. Yes. I would say you. I don't want to be insulting.
After all this, I know I'm Torres. Okay, I already know.
Okay, great. I don't have to fucking say it. But yeah, obviously. I think, personally, you. Now, this script is bad enough that no one could make that work. But I think there is a world where you could be that character, and he was great. You know.
Dude, that's so funny. Cause
You just gave me just a really, really nice character. Gave you some really nice things, and I'm putting you as my least favorite character.
The whole time
But it's
you're
all
just
you
trash.
fit. It's all you fit in as,
Yeah.
I would say.
No, you're absolutely right. I think, like, other than that, I don't even, like, probably one of the villains before I'm Sam Wilson, you know?
Right, you could be Sam Wilson.
No.
That's crazy, I would say. Any Oscars?
Nope, we're still live.
Oh, thank God.
My computer went into a sleep that looked really fucking weird.
That was
dude.
so scary.
Alright, that's fine. We're close anyways. Let's just keep rolling. What was it?
Oscars? Don't think so. It's gonna be like visual effects, or if anything, that's nominated for. But
There's gonna be too many, because it'll be next round of Oscars, right?
mm-hmm.
You got Avatar: Fire and Ash this year, which is gonna definitely win visual. It could get nominated for visual effects.
Yeah, I would say that's the only like maybe a nomination. I don't think it's winning anything. I would say.
Fantastic Four coming out later this year. Marvel movie is gonna be the one that I think gets involved in the Oscars.
Yeah.
Based off of some previews. So, yeah.
We'll see. Okay, Critic Reviews.
Critics Reviews. So we're gonna start with the bad ones, then work our way to the good. The good are not that good though. I really couldn't find great ones at all. But this is Jesse Hassinger from AV Club. He says, keeping with the MCU's increasing insularity, the vast conspiracy is mostly just a collection of loose ends from other Marvel projects that doesn't add up to much. Good point, and I
Yeah.
especially like, and it doesn't add up to much. I agree with. There's something about the climax. I'm gonna talk about it just a little bit. I think with my, when I give my rating, but that's what brought it down for me was the climax. You know, so
Yeah.
definitely doesn't add up to much. And then, the second one, I apologize for whoever this is. I did not list your name, but while the performances by Ford, Mackie, and Ramirez are solid, I liked Ramirez's performance. The film as a whole struggles with moments of blandness and does not successfully create a distinct enough personality for the new Captain America. Hard disagree on the distinct enough personality.
Yeah, I would disagree. I think it's important to keep kind of like the Captain America roots, but bringing his own thing to it, and I think he did that really well.
I think it's perfect.
With what he was given.
Yeah. I mean, obviously we talked about that one scene with him making a decision differently than at least I think Steve Rogers would have. But
Right.
I just also think the way he's almost more respectful at times. Like if Steve Rogers, if there's that scene where he's standing in front of Harrison Ford and in front of Ross, and Ross is like, "You're not Steve Rogers." If somebody if somebody said something like that to Captain America, like you're not like in charge, you're not a good superhero, Captain America would immediately say something back. You know?
Yeah.
And it would be something witty. It wouldn't be too hard. But he would get the last word, say something to think about it, and Mackie just sits there and thinks. You know, Mackie's much more Sam he's much more calculated with how he just like thinks through things before he acts.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And maybe we just don't see the scenes of that with Captain America, but yeah.
Yeah, I'd agree.
Good there.
Yeah.
On to good reviews then. This is Vicky Jessup from the London Evening Standard. She says, though the plot isn't massively complex, it's dense, involving multiple references to previous Marvel shows while also shoehorning in a series of last-minute plot twists. But hey, if you're not into that, look, a giant red Hulk. Well said. I mean, well said. I think that it's interesting how, like, all those shoehorning series of last-minute plots that she liked were, like, right above that, you know? Two reviews above he's talking about just the collection of loose ends that they didn't like. But I think I disagree with the first guy in that those loose ends were tied up. I'm more with Vicky on this one.
Yeah, I would agree.
And now we have Richard Roper from the Chicago Sun-Times. He says that the pleasures offered in Captain America Brave New World are neither grand nor groundbreaking, but they're consistent and earned.
Yeah.
Roper, he's got I think that's a good view on this.
Absolutely.
You know, he's not overcomplicating, it's not anything special, but it's consistent and it's earned. Well done. That is it for the critics' reviews.
All right, so now we just moving on to rating.
Rating.
What would your rating be out of 5 stars for this movie?
So I think in our conversation here, I've actually liked the movie more than I did when I first walked out. I think there was just a lot thrown in there. It was like this review said, it was dense for sure. You know, it had a lot to it, and something the performance from Anthony Mackie, which I was very scared about, it popped off. I thought
Absolutely.
he did a fucking great job.
Me
and
too.
I wonder if he feels better carrying that shield than he did in Falcon the Winter Soldier 2. You know, Anthony Mackie is a human.
Yeah.
And because you can see it on screen. I thought the fight scenes were unbelievable. The biggest thing for me was the climax of everything. Big build up to that Red Hulk fight. It might have been expectations that killed me for this, but I wanted to see him as Red Hulk longer. I wanted to see, I was talking to you, like
Right.
a Bruce Banner type scene where he's, you know, just wakes up and he's no longer Red Hulk and he's just like freaking out about what he's just done. I want to see Harrison Ford act that.
Yeah.
And the climax for me, I think maybe because I was expecting more, it felt like a halfway point in the movie, you know. For
Yeah.
me. So for that reason, I'm gonna stick this one right at a 3.0.
Wow. Okay. Yeah, I would say based on one of the biggest factors in this, like you said, was Anthony Mackie's performance. I thought it was amazing. That's probably the biggest thing that's leading me into this. With all of the other shit I've said, like fucking Torres didn't fucking turn me away like that much as I hated him, but like it was fine. So I would set this just because the script was a little rough. Some just like continuity errors. I would give it a 2.8.
Nice.
That's where I'm gonna set
We
that.
haven't had much discrepancy on movies yet. We're always sitting around the same level right now. It's gonna be interesting when I get one that I really love and you get one that you really hate.
I know, it's
or
gonna be
or
crazy.
vice versa. Yeah, it'll be fun.
So, would you recommend someone to see this?
Would I recommend watching this movie? I would recommend it. I would recommend it with a clause. And that little clause is if you've seen previous Marvel projects, I think you would like this movie. I think that it's building up for something more. I think if you haven't seen any Marvel movies and you're trying to get into it, don't start here.
Yeah, I would 100% agree with that. And would you watch it again?
I will watch it again. Because I'm sure I'll be doing another MC watch through at some point. But like, if it wasn't attached to that, again, it's just the IP. If it wasn't attached to that IP, I would not watch it. You know, it's only going to be a step and a rewatch, you know, to build up to Doomsday or whenever I do it.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I enjoyed it, but it's like, it's not something that I'm like, oh, some of these movies we walk into the theater, I'm like, I could watch that again this very second.
Yeah.
That's not one of them. I don't plan on rewatching it anytime in the near future, but it was good and it was entertaining.
I got a question for you. Do you think it was better or worse than Deadpool x Wolverine?
Well, that's hard because I was throwing up in the bathroom in the middle of Deadpool Wolverine.
Only for like one scene.
Yeah, I rallied and came back.
You did.
I preferred Deadpool Wolverine based on the humor. That was actually funny and good in that, unlike the humor in this, which just like fell so short, I would say.
Yeah, I'm definitely the same way. I liked it better, but the plot was actually way worse than Deadpool x Wolverine. It's purely comedy.
Yes, absolutely. And the next movie we're gonna be watching.
Hype it up a little bit. Describe it. What do you got?
I'm not excited.
Sell
I'm not
baby.
good.
Sell
You
it.
might want to hype this up because I'm not excited for this movie.
At the dawn of time, we were first little fish or whatever, like living in the ocean. I don't know how evolution works, but then we were bacteria or something, and then we turned into fish, and then we turned into land animals of some sort, and then somewhere along the way, if you believe in evolution, we turned into monkeys.
That's not how evolution
Yeah, that is how evolution works. I described it in the, I'm making it easy on everybody.
So,
Simplifying.
with that evolution, we will be watching The Monkey, the horror movie based on the Stephen King novel, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Theo James is in it, fucking Elijah Wood.
This will be our first horror movie that we do, so it should be pretty
I
interesting.
don't like horror movies that much, so I'm really terrified and scared for that, but yeah. Any other thoughts?
I think that's about it for me.
All right, and with that, I'm Mara.
And I'm Gio.
So now let's leave your local movie theater parking lot.